Hey, 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 we're chubby.
That's right.
We're drinking
Busch Light.
We're Chubby Bartenders. Got a special guest with us. We're Chubby Bartenders. That's right.
That's right.
Yes, tune in. Hey, Jeremy Kitchen. What's going on, my friend?
Oh, just another day.
Another day.
There we go. There we go. Another
Just
day on the Chubby Bartenders.
We got Jeremy Kitchen with us today, but first we got to talk about a few special guys to us or special businesses to us, the Chubby Bartenders. You want to kick them off, Chad? Hey guys, it's Chad and Pudge here with the Chubby Bartenders, and look at what our good buddy at Bronx Metal Works made for us. Have you ever wanted a sign like that for your house? Maybe, what would you have?
Hey, I'll tell you what, buddy. I'd put one right behind my couch.
Ooh,
okay, right up in the middle of the living room. Reynolds, established 2011.
Ooh, you need that. You want a welcome sign, you want your farm name, anything. Call our buddy at Bronx Metal Works at the number above, and John will hook you right up, man, if you want any of these things right here.
You will not believe this man's work.
He can do anything. So give that guy a call at the number above, Bronx Metal Works. John Daniels, he does great work. Thank you, John. See you, buddy.
John. Sure do, man. I want to talk about the guy that we've always been putting last. Who handles your insurance?
Hey,
I mean, I don't know if you know his name, but Jason Gillum here, my colleague, does farm, home, commercial, life, auto.
And have a ball doing it. So
yes,
give me a call.
And I'll tell you, if you ever just need a review, make sure you've got your insurance done correctly and for the best rate. Call Gillum Insurance.
740-395-0357 or jason.gillum at american-national.com. Who else we got?
Well, I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy by the name of Jason Prater.
Oh, I've heard of him. AP Prep.
Man, that guy's got something going down there. I mean, it's a movement.
It is. Earning the day.
They earn every day.
Yep.
And countless numbers of high school athletes, college athletes, young kids really developing their athletic ability with Jason Prater. I think that he's really built a great thing over there. And
I agree.
I mean, the results are very easy to see. I mean, the number of testimonials out there are unparalleled.
Yep. So look him up, apprep.info, and look him up at Facebook at apprep@facebook.com. We got our boy Munn. We got to talk about Munn.
Apple fritters.
Apple fritters. Jackson, Oak Hill, Wellston, Vinton, McDonald's. Go see our boy Munn. Those guys, they've been helping out the community for decades and decades.
Over 40 years.
Over 40 years. Yeah. So, I mean, odds are if you've played a sport in the Southern Ohio area, you have indulged in some donated food from your local McDonald's. They've been donating the cups, the food. They've been a part of all of our lives. So go see those guys. We think Munn. Go get an apple fritter off.
Yeah, Brad and Sarah Munn, or as we like to call him, Brad Apple Fritter Munn.
That's right. And then we got Mr. Massey, and I still have yet to get confirmation. Is it McAvoy Geiger Brothers?
And I even saw Hickey today. I should have asked.
You should have asked him, yeah. So go give those guys a call, 740-286-0800. If you want something built and built right, these guys are structural engineers. They make it work. Another big supporter of your local communities. These guys, they've got jobs going on in Ohio, Tennessee. They're all over the board. So they're always hiring in their local communities too. So look them up. But give those guys a call, 740-286-0800.
Massey.
Yeah. Did you see he was eating this weekend? He was at a wedding.
I tell you, I think the diet might be slipping up, Scott.
I think so. Yeah. Snow days. Snow days.
That's tough on a guy's waistline.
It's been tough on mine. I can tell you that.
Yeah, me
man, too. Massey, I hate to admit it, fat boy, but if you called me out on being 230 right now, I'd lose. Man. I tell you what. Now I have noticed. Now I wasn't doing the OMAD. And I gained it right back. Quickly. I went back to the OMAD. I mean, I'm talking a week, dude. Gained like 9 pounds. Now there was some snow days. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tyler, have you ever had that happen? Have you ever tried jumping
off of it? You ever taken a snow day?
Yeah. Usually Fridays are a snow day.
Fridays are a snow day.
Well, no, I just did you ever for an extended time just be like, I think I could probably manage, going back to maybe 3 a day or whatever?
I
and
do,
then you
and then
notice yourself throwing like 10 pounds on or something.
and I jump right back.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just easier for me to manage.
Scared the shit out of me the other day. God, I jumped on them scales and I was like, I gained 4 pounds yesterday.
You could just hear your blood pressure going.
Oh man, I was like,
yeah.
I was feeling fat. I was feeling pretty
Felt a little
fat.
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Mindy, I said, quit drying them shirts.
Yeah. Hey, let's get those back on the clothesline. Let's get those back on the clothesline.
I think we need to air. That's your fat man
Yeah,
go-to
get back
right there.
to the air drying.
Yeah.
We're not using that dryer.
Dryer's too hot.
Yeah, too hot. Too hot. Yeah, too hot.
You ever do that? You ever tell them quit drying them clothes?
Makes my shirts mismarked.
It does it?
Yeah.
Well, I just go back to the store and I'll just buy another shirt.
Yeah.
Just in a different size.
That's what I told her this.
Yeah, right.
We've been going through major clean out mode at the house. Major clean out mode. We're trying to do some remodeling upstairs, and I told her the other day, I said, you know what, I think every year I'm just going to start throwing it all away at the end of the season. I said, I only wear about 4 things.
It'd be easy.
I said, I think I'll just go buy me 4 new shirts at the beginning of every season and go with it.
That probably about get it done.
Why wouldn't you? I mean,
I think I'm going to go like
they're $9.99.
I think I'm going to go like these. These Silicon Valley CEOs. Like it seems like this trend now. Like they wear the same thing every day. Like they'll buy a white shirt and a pair of black pants.
That's what they
and
wear.
they wear it every day like it's a uniform.
You know why they do that?
I don't know.
To avoid mental exhaustion.
Interesting.
You don't have to make stupid decisions throughout the day. You go to the closet and pull out the same thing every day.
Okay.
Routine.
Well, but how easy would that be? I mean, it's like okay,
this
man,
is a real thing. Where'd you learn about that?
I need 5 white shirts, 5 pairs of black pants.
If you look
and
at
2 pairs of sweatpants for the weekend.
Honestly,
if you look at my
I mean,
closet,
if you think about it, it's not a bad idea.
it's the Amish.
More or less. I mean, it's not a bad idea. They've been onto it for years.
Well, yeah.
You know.
You think they give a shit what they go to the closet
No,
and
dude, they're
grab?
not looking for patterns.
No.
No. Does that match? No, they don't care.
It is what it is. It's what it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the day after.
They're not scratching their head going, well, now what am I going to wear today? Probably the same damn thing I wore yesterday with my same hat. You know?
Now, speaking of hats, we got new hats.
Oh, my
tonight.
guys, look at this. Look what Jeremy brought us.
Yeah, real life.
I mean, these are nice.
These are nice. I
You
like
should
it.
jump online and buy yourself one.
Do you do your? Do you have an embroidery machine, or do you have these done?
No, I had them done. I had reached out to a guy out in California, and I was just shopping around, trying to find the best price, and sold me on the first sample whenever he done it, just because of the work, the detail to it, and time. I was able to get them quick.
Yeah.
So, the first whenever I first got the hats, I started off with one color. It was just a gray color.
Yeah.
It popped pretty good, didn't it?
I'd sold out within the first 3 days.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then had to place another order for almost 200 of them. And you guys got my collection.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, because they're just about gone.
It used to.
great,
It
man.
seems like used to people would just like clothing. Let's talk about clothing. Used to, I don't know why, but you would keep like the same hat for you, and I still do. But I don't find myself wearing the same hat as long as I used to wear the other ones. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I wear them for 3 or 4 months, and then it's like, man, I'm ready for a new hat.
Well, I've noticed myself. I keep quite a variety now, man.
I've got tons of hats.
I like to vary it up.
Yeah.
I'll throw them around. I'll mix it up. Like now, I've got another one to throw into the mix here. There you go.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Like
Now, where's your
shuffle around.
fedora?
It's at home.
Have you?
Oh no, I
ordered?
haven't ordered a fedora yet.
No, what's that? What's that one?
My Skully.
Yeah.
It's at home. It's getting too warm for it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to get a summer version for it.
So that's
I gotta sit here and sweat my ass off.
So that's going to be it. That's what I told Mindy the other day. I said, babe, I don't know if we really need to keep that around for 3 or 4 times a year. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to occupy closet space?
Yeah.
For an article of clothing that you're going to need like 3 times a year. I've got a pair of socks that I keep that I've been looking at. I've kept them for 5 or 6 years.
Do you
Now,
just really like them or something?
They're just 100% wool, and it's
Yeah.
like, boy, if it's freezing.
That's perfect. How many times have you reached for them?
I've only worn them twice, probably in 5 years.
Yeah.
boy if I ever need him, man.
Well, that's true. I'd have trouble letting go of something like that. Now, like just like that Scully, like I'm not going to be wearing that in July, dude. I mean,
Well, I don't know if you could adopt it.
no. I've struggled with it. I mean, I've
Because
worn
I
it.
feel like that's like cowboy hat.
Yeah. I've worn it on the show a couple times, and I think I will reach out, and maybe try to buy another one,
Okay.
just to vary it up a little bit, because I do like it.
Yeah.
I just am having trouble getting used to it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a quack walking around. You know what I mean? Like, it
Feel
just-
like you
it-
maybe
it
ought to
just-
get you a pair of glasses.
Well, it just kind of chinks at your confidence just a
Watch
little
some
bit.
Star
not a ton.
Wars or something.
Well, you're kind of like, man, this. I don't know if this is me. Like,
That's why I didn't wear it.
like I want it. I want it to be me. I just don't know if it is.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I tried it and I thought, nope, I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I am. I think maybe I need to try something else now.
Yeah. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm meant for any kind of a strange hat. I mean,
I like
I'm
my
willing to
cowboy
try
hat.
it. Yeah, but see, I can't really do that.
You can't nail that. I tell you, honestly, my favorite hat to wear, is my cowboy hat.
Yeah, comfortable.
It's comfortable. Honestly, it has all kinds of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
If you wear it and it's raining, you really don't get wet. Your face doesn't get wet.
Oh,
your
yeah,
ears don't
yeah,
get wet.
yeah,
Your hair
yeah.
doesn't get wet. They have shade. I don't have to wear sunglasses whenever I'm wearing one.
Yeah.
Now they're a little hotter probably.
I'm gonna step outside the box. And
I
get
like
me
those. I like those. My stepdad wears them. They're like I don't want to call them a Stetson. They're a bigger model, but they're more like
flat brimmed.
They're kind of like a some of them will be like a mesh cone right here, and like they kind of.
Oh yeah.
Now
yeah,
and he wears those, and like he'll wear a leather version of that,
Yeah, yeah.
And man, I tell you what, if you get like a 10X, we should talk to Beth about that too.
Yeah.
If you get the more X's is the times beaver that it is.
Yeah.
And the more times beaver it is, the softer and the more comfortable it is.
Yeah.
And dude, beaver's water repellent.
Yeah. So it's
That's why you'll never get this thing. You can leave them you can wear them in a thunderstorm, and the next day they're right back to where they was.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm going to keep it fresh. Like, the listeners one of these days are going to pop on YouTube, and I'll have some ridiculous hat on, and we'll just let them evaluate that. I mean, to me, the Scully, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the L on that one. I mean, I'll
For a
still,
guy that
I'll
played
still,
college
I'll still bring
football.
it. Yeah, I'll still bring it from time to time.
I don't know that you could play or that you could pull off the skull. I mean,
Well, you almost got to have like longer hair or something, like
Yeah.
where you could throw it on backwards. And I've seen guys look just flat ass cool in those things. Not me.
Who?
I mean, just guys I've known. Like I'll tell you exactly a guy.
Who?
Bo Riley used to wear one of those backwards.
Yeah, he
And
did.
I'm telling you what, man,
Yeah.
he pulled that
He did
off.
pull that
I
look
mean,
off.
it
Yeah.
was impeccable.
Now I always thought that was a very Seattle look.
Can be, yeah.
Sure.
And like I said, I'm not going to give up on it. I will take the L and get back to the drawing
Bo
board.
pulled
Yeah.
it off.
Oh, Bo, yeah, he's got a camo one, man.
I'm trying to think of who else I used to know that used to wear one.
Well, I mean, anybody can pull it off. It's just, are you
Are you
comfortable
going to?
enough?
Are you going to?
Right. Are you comfortable enough to stay with it? That's really what the key is. Because, like, if you got used to seeing me wearing one of them things every time you saw me,
Yeah.
you'd just be like, well, all right. See, he's changing. I mean, well, that's
Be kind of like
a little different.
Be kind of like that deal.
Yeah.
I have
yeah,
to eventually say, Chad. No.
Yeah. Why are you wearing that goofy ass hat? Yeah. I mean, it just, like I said, it's in the repertoire. You probably will not see it as often as what you may have thought, but it's there. I mean, you never know. But I think we're probably going to shuffle the deck again and come out with a different style of hat and try that. I mean,
You went with the Texas look here, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the hot thing.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, we talked about him. I think with Beth. Jorge Eager is his name, and he I think he was the very first guy to put the logo on the side, and he came out with oil field trash hats.
I have heard of those. I have.
That went big, and he was a guy kind of in the Western world.
Yeah.
And really in the Western world, he wasn't kind of. I mean, he became an instant brand in the Western clothing. Western clothing is its own entity, and that's its own lifestyle. It's like if you're going to wear Under Armour and athletic wear. It's,
I thought that was interesting. We had a girl join us last week that runs Henderson's Western Wear.
Okay.
And so she was kind of talking about that whole Western fashion movement, which I would argue has gotten popularized today.
It has.
I think you're seeing more and more of that.
And it really does take a select person
to
wear that. Just like as you said, Under Armour, Nike. There's certain people that wear it every day.
Well, like here's the thing. Like it's almost got to be like genuine or legit. Like if you wear your Western stuff, you're wearing cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Well, you also ride horses and stuff, so it's legit. If I do it, I'm a phony. It looks like I'm wearing a damn costume.
It does.
There's a difference in it being real and it being a costume. And I mean, maybe that's the wrong way.
As a guy that rides horses, it was always funny to like see like people go to like a country show or something, and like they'd all be wearing like they'd get their cowboy boots and stuff. And I mean, I had nothing wrong with that.
But they'd go out to Walmart, buy them one of them straw cowboy hats.
Yeah, it'd be like, man, that's so not the Western thing. But it's not. You're not trying to be Western. It's country.
That's a one night concert, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. Have you ever rode a horse?
You have.
I have.
Hey.
Not necessarily successfully, but
well, hey.
Yeah,
you could fit right in.
Well,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, sure. If I started, really focusing on that, but I don't think I'm necessarily built for horseback. I think that I think it would take a pretty big horse with a strong back. I mean, dude, I guarantee you. Like when I'd walk in there at Bob Evans, to go ride the trails on those horses, I guarantee you the horses be looking at each other like,
you got him.
Who's going to have to pack up, fat son of a bitch? Yeah.
So let's talk about the real life, man. So take me from the start.
Oh, well, so I've been on the railroad for almost 7 years now.
Okay. Well, let's talk about before that, because you had a history before that, didn't you?
Yeah.
You was overseas.
Yep. I enlisted into the Army in 2009. I enlisted as an infantryman. So, I completed all of my training then and got my duty station, went out to Colorado, was enjoying it out there, and then we came down on orders. And had to deploy. Yeah. Which I was completely fine with. That was what I signed up to do.
Yeah. This is in 2009?
Yep. So.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 09. But I enlisted in 09 and then had to complete all my training. I went in July of 09. All my training ended about a week before Christmas as an infantryman.
Yeah. So you're right out of high school. Boom. Done.
Yep. Right out of high school, done, gone. And I got to Colorado, and I was there for about 5 months, and then we came down on orders, which we had already known because the other brigade that was there was already in Afghanistan, and we knew that we were going to be
gone,
changing them out. So came down on orders, left in July of 2010, and went over, and within the first 30 days of being there, we had a fatality incident. We had lost 2 guys in our company, and it kind of, the shell shock didn't really set in at the time.
Yeah.
But it was just, because you hear about it on the news or you read about it.
But then it gets real.
It got real.
So how many people are in a company? I don't know much about it.
In an infantry company.
So when you say your company, how many does that mean?
That could be about 100 people, but everything's broke down in platoons.
Okay, so okay.
So,
I mean, obviously, I've heard the word platoon.
Yeah,
but what does that mean? What is a platoon? Is that like a group of workers?
A platoon. Look at a baseball team.
Okay.
Football team. That is your company.
Okay.
And it'll be a lot easier to break down whenever you say football. So. The whole team is the company.
Yeah.
Your offense or your defense is your platoon.
Okay.
That's a select group of people.
So how many people
specialized in a certain
12.
12 people in a platoon.
Generally, there's 12. Okay. So, and you split it in half.
So you're gonna have 8 or 9. You're gonna have No, you're right.
You're going to have six that are generally operating
Six
together every day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in a company, yeah, you'll probably have about 9 platoons total.
Yeah.
Out of the whole entire
Yeah.
company. And everybody does different things.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Are you
know.
guys? Is that like specialized training in certain things that that you'll operate in?
Yes. So if you're in an actual line unit, in an actual infantry line unit, you're just a grunt. But they have an HHC section, which is specialized people, and I was in an HHC.
Okay. So what was your specialty, man?
I was a mortarman.
Oh, okay.
But so we trained for a long time on sending rounds downrange, because you're in the back if there's a line unit that's in a firefight, whatever, and if they're pinned down and they need support, you're sending a mortar to where the enemy is at.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So you're
Missile / grenade kind of thing.
Yeah, big boom.
Yeah. To a dialed-in object.
Yes. Yep.
To a set area.
Yeah, and I was the only one out of my whole section to actually send a live round downrange
During that.
Yep.
During that skirmish or
Yep.
So how long? So you get your orders and you're over there within the first 30 days. So are you allowed to say where you's at?
Yeah, I was in Kandahar province, which is the RC South, and we was in a little area called Malajat. So, and Malajat had not really been touched by anybody. So
What kind of country is it?
Country. Just
hills.
Yeah.
Not a place you want to go to, or downtown Majalat or whatever.
Is there a town? I mean, are you in the town, or you're off on a base? Or
we took over an old rundown schoolhouse, and that's where we had lived.
Your whole company, or your?
No, just my little section, just our platoon.
Okay.
We took over that little schoolhouse, and we took it over at night, because you don't want people to know that you're there.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of our patrols operated
So like these
at night.
movies, whenever they see and they're in an old, just huge, cathedral building or something, that's what they've done. They've went in.
Yep.
They've went into that and they've set up shop. Does anybody know you're there?
You hope that they don't, but there's always eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks that the locals over there are not smart, but they've been at war with each other, for hundreds and hundreds of years.
These people just live in rubble, don't they?
Yeah. Mud houses.
Well, and the thing is, man, is for generations they've grown up at war.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is their day to day, man. I mean,
Is this one of these countries? I'm not trying to get crazy. I don't know anything about this, but is this one of these countries where people in the town? Did you see a town?
Yeah, there's little villages all around.
Are these people that are wearing just like not a sheet, but they're not wearing Nike or hoodies? They're wearing a robe and a
it almost
sash.
looks like a big nightgown in a way. Like if you get a 2-piece nightgown or whatever.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's kind of what it looks like, and then it's just got a little vest on it, and then they have their own little headwear.
Yeah. So I mean, are those the type of people that you're fighting, or are you fighting people in full army regalia of their sorts?
Both, because
you never know. A guy might be walking down the street and chuck a bomb into that school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because there was times where whenever they found out that we were there, did not take them long.
Yeah. How long?
Oh, I'd probably say about a week and a half. Okay. And they realized that that's where we were staying.
There's 40 guys, 50 guys in there?
No, for us, there was only 12 of us.
12 of you?
Yeah.
So just your platoon went in? Yeah. Okay.
And so it didn't take them long to catch on. Boot prints leave trails. And then they do travel through the night. So whenever you're pulling security, you're up on a rooftop.
Yeah. So somebody sees you.
Somebody's going to see you. Yeah. So, and then, you just run into people, find whenever they knew that we were there. Then we conducted day patrols to create a presence, show them that we're not there to harm you,
Yeah.
hearts and minds.
Yeah.
But you come across little kids.
That job sucks.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
How long were you there, man?
Before the very last time that I got hurt, I was there about 9-10 months.
Okay.
In this country?
Yeah.
You're in this country for 9-10 months?
Yep.
Where are you when you're not in that school?
Out on patrol.
Out on patrol.
Yep.
Also, you're in that school for 9 months.
No, I'm that schoolhouse that we had stayed at. That's basically your living quarters. That's where you're going to lay your head to go to sleep.
Okay.
And then, whenever you wake up, suiting up, you're going out.
So where's your bathrooms and all that? Nothing. Wherever you can get them.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. We eventually got upgraded. They eventually brought in some CBs, and the CBs built us a base not too far away. And it seemed like whenever they built that base, that was when shit got hot. And it started popping more.
Yeah.
They didn't want you to settle in or getting a jump on it.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, because and like you said, everybody has to have a job. Cause so you see these groups of these companies move into an area, and I mean, somebody's got to be in charge of the sandbag. Somebody's got to be in charge of it. I mean, so I'm sure I don't know how that works, but I've always kind of assumed.
Well, yes, you're going to have designated people that's setting up your HESCO barriers, filling your sandbags. And what got rough for us, coming off of 12 to 15 hour foot patrols, and then having to go in and fill 500 to 1,000 sandbags to build up your own walls and everything, and then get about an hour, 2 hours of sleep, wake back up, go back out on another patrol.
And you guys were all mortarmen?
We were mortars. We had the mortar section there, and the sniper section was there with us as well. Okay. So, and then over time they started bringing, who was it? I can't remember what their actual ID was called, but they were MPs. They were military police officers.
Yeah.
And they were doing the patrols.
Well, we had to help them.
Yeah.
We had to show them around the area and everything.
So whenever you guys go into an area like that, what's your goal? Is that like a standing point? Like, is that like okay, here we are, let's see who comes at us from, I mean, what are you doing? Are you the turkey decoy? Or are you the...
Well, I don't think I politicked high enough to understand what the actual mission was. Other than...
Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful? You could have died and you don't even know what the hell you're there for.
I tell my wife all the time that it takes a special person to not give a shit, basically. Because it came to a point during our deployment, after being shot at, after being blown up, and the locals do not care about you whatsoever. They want you out.
Right. That's all they.
They'll kill you and not think twice.
Correct. And I just told my wife, I was like, it's a weird feeling whenever you go to walk out your gate, and whenever you just load around in your rifle, that sound. Everybody knows what that sound is whenever you load around.
Yeah.
That distinct sound still sticks with me to this day, because whenever you loaded it, the only thing that went through your head was, is today going to be my last day? Yeah. And if the only thing that you could settle with is, if it is, it is. At least I died for these guys, or at least I died for my family, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I imagine,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, and I imagine that as you get there and you're there, you must learn how to compartmentalize that.
Yes.
Or something, so that you can do your job and function. I mean, there's probably some guys that just lose it, aren't there? I mean,
there is. There was a time.
Shit, how could you? I mean, think about what he just said. He's waking. Okay, you and I, we wake up and we go to work. Okay, he's waking up every day.
Yeah.
In a deathly situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, or it could be. I know he's used to it, but I'm just saying he had to.
Well, like I said, I think that it goes back to what he said there previously. I think it takes a special person.
Yeah,
it does.
And he doesn't even know what he's over for.
Well, now I imagine that the training that you go through really conditions you for that climate, correct?
I mean, were
They
you
do
were you
break
ready
you
for
down.
that? I mean, like you had to have been to an extent.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I remember whenever
You
I
enlisted.
came down on orders to go. Like my mom
Take that
still
thing off
got.
take that thing off that mic, would you?
You know, my mom would get mad because I would just grin ear to ear, and I was excited to go.
Yeah.
Well, after
Yeah.
30 days of being there, and
You were excited to go home. Yeah.
Because if you're getting, I mean, dude, you're getting an hour of sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
If I don't get about 6, I feel like I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Now I'm not 20 anymore, obviously, but and there is a difference, isn't there? I mean,
There is.
There is a
Well,
difference.
and
There is.
physically taxing too, man. I mean, going out on these
How
patrols,
could
going up and down
that,
mountains.
How
I mean,
could that not look at your brain at that time? We're a mess. I mean, we're just a mess.
just bang, clang, boom. Yeah, ice all over the floor.
Wait till we get in our new studio. Wait, it'll be carpet. It'll be quiet. So
Yeah.
wait, we're moving.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
The move.
Yes.
We're not just a different location in the same building.
Yeah. We're going downstairs.
New scenery, big things on
Yes,
there.
yes.
I'll tell you what, guys. It looks
We've been working
sharp.
hard on a new one. Yeah.
Looks sharp. I've been working hard at watching.
But so anyway, but yeah, think about that. You're over there. You don't know what you're even over there truly for. You know what you're over there because they told you to be.
correct.
And now you're pulling 23-hour days. Okay. What are you doing about food?
Well, that was the thing. We lived on rations, so we had packaged meals called MREs. So for like literally
Yeah,
like
what's that stand for?
it's like meal ready something.
Ready to eat meal, isn't it? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like meal,
Nasty.
meal ready to eat or
Nasty.
something.
Is it? It's in a powder pack, isn't it?
Some of it is, yeah. I mean, it's
And
nasty.
Oh man,
Nasty.
All it is just pure survival, man. It's
It
not. It's not. You're not enjoying it.
Yeah,
It's
no.
giving you all the nutrients that you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and there's times where, you're supposed to get refitted, so you're supposed to get resupplied, and there's times where that stuff would not be able to go through on times. So you're making one meal, that it could be your lunch. Now you got to make that last for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then maybe breakfast the very next day.
Did you smoke in?
Yes.
What'd you do about cigarettes?
I bought Afghani-made cigarettes. They were called Pines. They were about $2 a carton.
Really?
So, yeah. So I
Are they any good?
no,
They
but
got
they
the
were
job
good
done.
at the time.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
got the job done.
Hand rolled.
No, they actually had a filter on them and everything. But yeah,
Did you
we're
buy these in that muzzle?
in a bazaar.
Yeah. So
A bazaar is what they call a market.
I'd say that you took special
okay.
care, special care not to run out.
Sometimes.
those are $2 a carton.
Yeah.
Hell, he ain't running out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem would be like, man, all of a sudden you run out of cigarettes. I mean, that would be quite a nicotine. Then all of a sudden you throw into all this, you're having a fiending for nicotine.
Oh, you do.
I mean, that'd
I was
be beautiful.
Fortunate. I was fortunate that I had family and friends that would send me cigarettes,
Yeah.
stuff.
So if they send you cigarettes like that, and you're out in the middle of this, Indian desert or Indian jungle or woods, forest, how is that mail getting to you?
Well, they have a supply vehicle
That-
that's at the main base.
Yeah.
So the main base is in Kandahar at the actual airfield.
Yeah.
They got the Germans, the
How
British,
far
the French.
is that from you?
Oh, it's about 2 to 2.5 hours of a drive. Mm-hmm. So, and it only came about once a month to once every 2 months. So,
So whenever you'd get it, you'd get a bag probably.
you would have about 3 or 4 packages on it, based on who quantity that everybody was sending you.
Yeah.
But, granted,
Were there any dudes there that never got anything?
no, I really don't.
I mean,
think
that'd be
so.
rough. That'd make you feel bad for an old boy, wouldn't it? You just kind of look over and like, oh man.
I could just tell you, I knew that I smoked. I smoked about a pack a day before I deployed,
Yeah.
and about 2 to 3 months into deployment, I was smoking about 2.5 to 3.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just one, your stress level's way up.
Oh
here.
my, yeah.
And then there's times where you're on night patrols.
It
You
just
know,
helps
you
you
got
pass the time and keep you awake.
awake is the big thing.
Yeah.
You know, because you struggle with the sleep over there because you're not really getting it. Especially whenever you're in an area where there's never been a presence really, so everybody's got to be on guard.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, they overwork you, but you trained for it. You
Right.
signed up for it. Suck it up.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. They'll give you everything but an excuse. Probably.
Correct.
You know, they don't really want to hear any of that. Probably.
No.
Yeah.
No, and like the kids over there, there's some that are good, and there's some that you cannot trust at all.
Yeah.
Like, we ran into this kid, had a severed arm about to here. You know, it was already healed up and everything.
Yeah.
And we ran into him at this little dirt intersection road. And our terp was talking to him, you know, asking, like, you know, well, what happened, everything. And the little boy just pointed up to the tree. And everything was just, like, charcoal black in that area. And there was, like, stuff that just looked like it was matted in there. And, you know, our terp just turned around, and it seemed like the only thing he learned in English language was fuck. He turned around and looked at us, and he's just like, it's his effing dad, it's his effing guts, and this, and he was helping his dad place an IED in this intersection, and the IED detonated. Blew his dad to pieces, and took half his arm.
Why would his dad have been putting an IED in the middle of the intersection?
Obviously get us.
To get you guys. Oh,
Yep.
at some point.
Yeah.
Why are these people so damn hateful over there?
I think I'd say most of them probably look at us like an intrusion.
Yeah, they don't want people
You know.
on their land, you know. They
You know, and they're also, you know, manipulated to an extent. You know, they either have to work with the Taliban or work with you. If they work with you, well, there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah.
And that repercussions
As soon as
might
you
not
leave.
happen to them. It could happen to their whole family. You know. So they
Yeah.
do play the field.
Yeah.
So,
They've got to get along with everybody. They're just stuck in the middle.
yep. Yep. And that's why they halftime they don't even want you there.
They just sued not deal with it. Yeah.
Yep.
They just gonna go back to praying or whatever it is they do. They don't-
Yeah, you hear
they
that
just-
every morning about 5:30. That's all you hear. Is just they got loudspeakers in all their villages, and that's all you hear. Just like tap tap.
Really.
Yep.
And that's they start right
Yep.
now. Man.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, I'd say it was. Then did you get injured over there?
Yeah, I got the first time I actually got injured was October 17th of 2010. That was my first IED experience.
Okay.
So, in that one, we were on a mounted patrol, which is a vehicle patrol. It's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. We were escorting some people back to our main base. Yeah, dark. And we had went through the actual city of Kandahar. So it looks like almost just like Jackson. Whenever you get into the main cities there, it's paved roads, big buildings, everything. So right as soon as we came out of the city to go towards that base, there was just a culvert, you know, and there was a speed bump. And I just remember talking to my sergeant that was sitting beside me. And right as soon as I went over that speed bump, all I remember was there was a bright flash, and I'm like laying over on his lap, and just dust everywhere. And all I hear in the headset is him yelling, and our platoon sergeant in the vehicle behind us yelling, saying, "Drive, drive, drive." Now, I couldn't even think what happened. I just remember I looked at him. I was like, "What the hell just happened?" He said, "Drive this mother effing truck out of the way." And I went to step on the gas, and the truck didn't want to move.
So you drove on over an IED?
Yeah, it was placed underneath it was placed inside of a culvert underneath the paved road.
Underneath the paved road.
Mm-hmm.
Did it flip your car?
No.
No.
Thank God, no.
So what did it do?
It just caused minimal damage to the vehicle. A lot of the asphalt consumed the blast. I mean, but the driver in the vehicle behind us said that all four, I don't know if it had 4 or 8 wheels, but we were in a big up armored vehicle, And he said that the vehicle came at least 2 feet off the ground whenever it hit.
Yeah.
So I don't know a whole lot about it. It was just quick.
What happened to you injury-wise?
Concussion and TBI, just disoriented mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's going. Just think of that blow, and it just. Just right. I mean, I've never.
You
felt
probably didn't know what the hell happened, did you?
no, I didn't. That's why I said, whenever
Knock
it
you
all
out.
happened.
How long
no.
did it take you before it kind of hit you? Like, wow, dude, I just came in contact with the enemy, my friend. Yeah.
Whenever we got
Were you
into
concussed?
yeah, because once it all happened, that's the only thing I remember
me
was
once.
that bright
That's freaky.
flash, and I was half laying over onto my guy that was just sitting in the passenger seat, and I heard everybody on the radio going, drive, get that truck out of the way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like that happened to me one time. That happened to me one time in football. And man, like you just. I saw,
Everything kind of stops.
everything kind
And
of.
you hear like a lot of stuff around.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yep.
It's like it's literally like in those movies, isn't it?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
like, like that movie. Whenever was it Saving Private Ryan and Tom Hanks
Oh,
was,
yeah, yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that was going on. And
Yeah.
That's literally what it's like.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just the ringing is so loud.
I didn't have
I mean,
the ringing. You had
How
the
did you
ringing.
guys
Oh,
get
yeah,
out? How'd
you
you guys
did.
get out of there, man?
They had to pull the second truck that was in front of us back, and they had to hook a tow bar to it.
Pull you out.
And they had to tow us all the way to the base. And once we got inside the base,
You don't know what the hell's going on, do you?
yeah, no. And that's when they done the eval on us, because you can't do an eval.
In the middle of the field.
You're looking
Yeah,
drunk,
yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably you not hazy-eyed drunk, but you're looking like you're probably looking like you would maybe on a hallucinogen or something.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. You're just completely
You're out of it.
disoriented.
Yeah.
So, and the main thing, if you get into contact, especially with an ID, you got to get out of that area. Because
quick.
sometimes there could be a daisy chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want you to get out of that area because the
That's why they're telling
Taliban.
you to fucking drive.
Yeah, because the Taliban will target a lot. They're going to target the middle vehicles because it separates the convoy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we went in a 4-vehicle move, so they targeted our vehicle, and it was the 3rd vehicle. They were obviously shooting for to blow that vehicle completely to pieces,
Yeah.
which would have left the very 4th vehicle by itself.
Yeah.
And that
And
would have
open
been their
for
main
attack.
target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so they thought they were still there
They were on
watching.
ambush, probably.
Yeah.
How long had that IED been there before you got there? They
Have not the slightest clue. We had went over that area probably about 24 times before that. Nothing ever happened, so it had to be recent.
That's what Scott King was saying, man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean, just about the time you get, like, you like to your point, you'd gone over that particular same area 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So you're driving along this time. I mean, you're probably not exactly thinking that this is going to happen.
He's
But, I mean,
talking
I
to
know-
his sergeant, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you know-
I know your head's probably on the swivel at all times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're bound to just kind of start feeling a little more relaxed at some point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, flash, bang, whoa.
People do get complacent.
Yeah.
If you're going through a daily routine and there's not really
I mean, it's
anything
human
that's
nature,
popping,
right? I mean,
yeah. Yep. So, that happened, and then they got us all straightened out at the aid station at the base, We ended up going back that night to our old little rundown schoolhouse, and that's about an hour and a half away. Of course, we couldn't go in our vehicle, so we all had to mount up in the other vehicles to go.
And you're probably still touch out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we get back to our base, and then 2 days later, we're out on a foot patrol in this little intersection I was just talking about where the boy had half an arm. We're all coming back from a foot patrol, and we get close to the base to be able to go lay up and just get some sleep. And for some reason, I don't know what it was, my PL just halted everybody. So everybody halted. Everybody's going down to a knee to watch, perform security. And it wasn't even 30 seconds later, but an ID went off right in the middle of all of us. And it wasn't a big one, but it was enough to throw one of our guys flat on his face. And he was probably about from me to Tyler from it. and it just threw him flat on his face. And so we got hit then. We ended up, after we got the area, once you have an ID too, you're going to sweep the area. You're going to see if there's any more there.
It's time to go to work.
Yeah. So once it was all cleared off and everything was cleared, that there was no more threat. We pushed back into the base. And I think then, that was when the reality for me really set in. Like,
Did you miss it?
God damn it! I was even trying to get it in there.
I think that was when reality really set in for me that, they're really trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that was in a matter of a couple days.
Yep.
And you're like, man, they're getting close here.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
You're counting your 9 lives there, man.
Absolutely.
You said that was your first time. What was your second?
No, the first time was the one in the mounted patrol. The second time was just a few days later.
A few days later in the streets. And that's what got you. Like, they got you out of there, right?
Nope. The last time that got me out of there happened in March of 2011.
Okay.
And this is going to sound crazy because nobody, when it's crazy to say, people may believe it, may not.
Yeah.
We had just came off of a 3-day op. We were in a 5-man section off of a 3-day op. You can only imagine how much sleep we had in 3 days. You're only averaging about 2 hours a night.
Yeah.
So we walked into this little Afghan National Police headquarters. It's just like a small little outpost, maybe about half the size of this building right here. We walked in there just to get some shut-eye.
Yeah.
So
They're friendly.
Supposedly. Supposedly.
Yeah.
So we go in there to get some sleep. And
how do you know that they're friendly?
You hope that they're friendly.
Yeah.
You hope.
Okay.
There's
based on intel reports and stuff.
Yeah,
probably.
you'll have some that are good and you'll have some that are bad.
Yeah.
That you just 9 times out of 10 they're not going to be bad to your face,
Yeah.
in your presence.
Right.
But if it's dark out, watch out. Some are good though. Yeah. Some are they actually honor you for being there and helping.
Yeah.
But so whenever we bedded down, I couldn't tell you how long I was asleep because I really couldn't remember. I just remember waking up in excruciating pain. And I just happened to look down at my leg, and I'm being ran over by one of the Afghan police officers in a pickup truck that's completely armored up, got the turret system on the back, everything. I'm being ran over. And I just start screaming because that was when, like, the pain.
Why?
And I don't know. We could not figure it out.
Did they not know where you guys were?
They knew exactly where we were because we slept right on the outside of their tent. So it was just,
Did he act like this was an accident, or?
Well, yes, because when it was all going down, like I said, I woke up and I just felt nothing but pain. The worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And once I just look down, I see it coming, and he's running over my leg. I start screaming. Everybody wakes up. All of our guys, they're up. I'm screaming. I reached over and I grabbed my M4, and I racked around. And right as soon as I racked around to point it up at him, one of our snipers stopped me from doing that. Our medic didn't even get to come to me because he racked around and was going after them. Well, when all this went down, all of the other AMPs came pouring out of the tent. There's 5 of us held down at gunpoint, probably about 30 to 40 of them, and my PL, the medic, everybody's trying to get everybody calmed down. So, I had my M4 taken away from me. I'm being held down at gunpoint. Just got ran over.
So he drove. What kind of vehicle? Give me
a Ford pickup.
Ford pickup.
Yep.
It
was basically like a Ranger.
Okay.
But Scott King could probably elaborate more on that stuff because I know he's had some time there. He would probably know a little more about the vehicles that they all have.
Okay. Yeah.
But because I always crack a joke at times.
So you're laying down. He's coming like up towards your face.
He ran me right over through here.
Just
right
across.
over my legs.
Just right over across.
Yep.
Man.
Both the front and back tire?
Nope. Just front.
Oh,
just front.
Okay.
Yep. Just front.
I
So
just
he-
pulled up over top of you.
Yeah. Yep. And that was the thing.
Then did he stop
In
or
order.
what?
Right, yeah. Right after.
So he's over top. Did he come back over top of you again?
No. Huh.
Goes
So
over-
do you think he was it legit an accident?
I still say to this day no, because
Okay.
the way that we were laying, you wouldn't have been able to get to it without taking.
You'd have to be intentional in doing it. Yeah.
So like this little area right here, you have this wall that sticks out.
Yeah.
Let's say there's the opening. That this doorway right here is the opening to their tent. We were laid down right on this side. That truck in the beginning was on the other side of that wall.
yeah. And yeah.
Yeah.
What was it doing over there? I mean, yeah.
The only way that he could have got me was intentionally turning the wheel to come this way.
And you've got your whole platoon probably chambering around.
Yeah,
when that happened.
everybody
And
was
that
on
thing
high
probably
alert
came
right there.
close
Yeah.
to turning it into a firefight.
It did. It
Yeah,
did. Because
yeah.
I remember at one point I started screaming, like I'm going to die without a gun.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
being held down.
Yeah.
How old are you at this time?
30.
You're 30.
Yep.
You're 30 years old over there.
Yep. And that happened. I was 20 years old whenever that happened.
Oh no.
No, he's 30 now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, she's 30 then. I was like, man, he's
Well, so like, did
he's 20 when that happened.
So
Yeah, I
how
was
did
20.
how did they get the tension down enough to where they could give you some medical attention?
The our terp, which is our it's
The interpreter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and our PL was just yelling, just trying to get everybody calm.
Yeah, yeah.
My sniper
What time
had
is
me.
this?
Oh, it's middle of the day,
Oh, middle of the day.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Broad daylight.
broad daylight. So
That's probably good.
Yeah. Yes. You can because it helps argue the story that that there was no accidental cause. That
yeah.
you seen where we were laying.
Yeah.
At least that's
Yeah.
my perspective.
Yeah.
And I'll stick with it.
So how bad was the injury, dude?
I had to be medevaced out, and I went through a lot of long-term care, and I was medically retired in 2012.
Okay.
So
Was it?
I
Did it
remember
break
that.
your leg, or was
Yeah.
it everything? Yeah.
Yep.
I remember whenever all that happened.
Do you?
Yeah. I remember hearing about it here in town.
Yeah, I had heard. I knew that you had gotten injured, but I didn't know what the circumstances were on that.
Yep. It was real. To me, it was shitty because, whenever our battalion PA was at our base the whole entire time, and your PA is your doctor, your physician.
Yeah.
So when everybody got back stateside, I was barred from reenlistment because I was on a medical profile. Couldn't run,
Right.
couldn't do anything besides walk with a cane for a long time.
Yeah.
And whenever they barred me from reenlistment, because you can't reenlist if you're not in 100% health, I was given an option of a medical reclass.
Okay.
And there's a part of me that wishes I would have just swallowed my pride and taken the reclass. But I was so gung-ho about being a grunt and everything, fighting on the lines and everything. And
The reclass would have probably been like a desk job or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep, and that's not me. I
you didn't
can't
want
sit
that.
around all day.
Yeah.
But so whenever my PA was talking to me about, he's like, look, he said, I know what you've been through. He's like, I was there. Let me do you a solid. So, and he put me in for medical retirement.
Okay.
So,
So what does that mean for you?
my wife and kids get health care for the rest of their life. I get health care.
You would have anyway, though, wouldn't you?
If I'd have stayed in for 20,
I thought you couldn't have went to the VA for nothing.
if I'd have got out and just filed everything through the VA, I could have went to the VA still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
but now you got retirement, just like you were in there
Yeah.
20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gave him retirement, medical retirement. I mean,
okay.
and then did you get a Purple Heart?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I got the Purple Heart for the first blast that we were in. So
Man, how many you get?
Two.
Got collection, bud?
You have 2 Purple Hearts?
no, I've only got one, but what I was in 2 blasts.
Yeah.
So, but it was kind of one of those things. It was really weird because a lot of us didn't want it. Because it was like, we all still have our limbs.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
It was one of those, but we had higher ups that was like, no, y'all have been through some shit. Just take it. Take it. It's going to benefit
Well,
you.
Bud, I'll tell you
throughout
that
your life.
it's an honor. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud of you, dude.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's awesome. I mean,
Has anybody heard this story? I mean, this is
Very
very
few.
few.
You know, there's some people that, you know, they'll be like, "Hey, man, you want to have a fire tonight?" Sure. You know, they'll bring some drinks or whatever. That's generally when I open.
is it something that's hard for you to talk about, man?
It's getting easier now.
What time
Yeah,
has made?
people-
I bet
time
when
has
you
made it
first when
easier.
you first got home, I bet that wasn't something that you like to really dive into. Was
I was
it?
drunk. I was drunk.
For a while.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
was
kind of you kind of
100%.
is that what you used for therapy there for a
Yes.
while? Was
Yep.
just, you know.
I mean,
what are you going to do? You know, I mean, you're injured. Okay.
I'm watching
You're-
my career go
Watch,
down.
Yeah, well, and you had
Yeah.
planned on being a lifer in
Yes,
the Army.
I did.
I mean, that's
Yep.
what you wanted to
That's
do.
what you okay.
Yeah.
So you plan on being a lifer. Now you're coming back to Southern Ohio, not exactly the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
And you're injured. You're not dethroned, but you're taken out of your dream. And
Dethroned is a good word for it, because that was how I felt.
Well, and I'll tell you
yeah,
another
yeah.
thing, Jeremy. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but also, man, you'd been through a lot of shit.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you.
I mean,
you've
you know,
seen
like
people
there's
die,
probably
you've-
some PTSD involved.
Just
and
that
everything
little,
else. I mean,
just that little skirmish that you're talking
Yeah.
about would have been enough to really fuck with your brain.
Oh yeah, it's you know, Scott King can probably he can probably align with me a lot. Like, you know,
Did you listen to his?
I have not, to be honest. I'm not big on social media. I try to
Yeah.
stay because a lot of it just
We're on YouTube. No social
pisses me
media.
off.
Yeah. Hey, I deleted it.
yeah.
Still haven't logged in, folks. Still haven't logged in.
It continues.
I don't miss it a bit.
You know, I don't know whether it's the fact that you're not on there now, but man, I'm going a couple days, 2-3 days without checking in on Facebook.
Yeah,
Same here. I don't. You know,
I've just
I'm
not,
this close to deleting it all.
I did.
I've just been
I did.
I've been really busy the
long
last 2 or
have I been?
3 weeks, and
We said 3.5 there on Beth's.
Wasn't like the
episode.
first week of January.
I think you've
I think
gone over
so.
the 30-day mark now, dude.
I may have.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't missed it one bit. No, I haven't even reached for it. Nope.
Every bit of.
Do it, Jeremy. Do it.
Yeah.
You need to.
The only thing
You're
that's
too good
kept
for
me.
it.
Oh, I know. I hate it.
Yeah.
The only reason why I've got it right now is one for the, you know, the hats, the clothing, and then the other clothing that I've designed. You know, that's it. To just try to figure out.
Well, let's
that market.
Speaking of that, let's talk a little
Yeah,
bit
let's talk
about. We talked about rail life a little bit, but go through the story of how you started rail life. I mean, obviously you worked on the railroad, and we can go back to that, or if we can keep going there. I mean, okay, so you get home from Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. You're devastated for a while. You kind of fall into the bottle there,
Yeah.
and then at some
Drinking
point,
beer, you're drinking liquor.
Anything I could get my hands
Just
on.
drinking.
Yeah.
5 nights, 6 nights, 7 nights.
Every night.
Every night.
Every night. All day long.
Playing
Like,
cards, hanging out with buddies, doing whatever you want to do.
nope.
By yourself?
Yep. By myself. Like,
Shit, you're getting dark with it.
yeah.
That's a bad place to be.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, which, you know, my wife. You know, it got to the point. You know,
That's your first wife? First marriage?
no, but
Yep.
yes. You know, I don't want to count my first one.
Okay.
You know, that was a really dumb decision. I was young, stupid. You know, learned quick. But
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you know, it got to the point. You know, I was hiding it in coffee cups.
okay,
You know, all throughout the day. She thought I was going to Speedway to get coffee. Well,
You're just taking a ride drinking.
yeah. And then whenever I come back, you know, she thinks I got a coffee because it's in a Speedway cup.
Yeah.
Nope. There's alcohol in it.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, and it got to the point where we had split, but she still pushed me to get help, and she got me up to the VA, and I was admitted. So, and I got the help I needed.
Yeah.
So it was good.
What's that? What was that?
I was suicidal for a long time. You know, 'cause I felt like I had no self-worth anymore.
Yeah, not like, yeah.
So you had to kind of piece together and find a new way, something new to ground yourself in.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, I'm no longer a grunt. I'm no longer, you know, an Army guy.
Yep.
What am I going to do to move forward?
It's almost like there's a tunnel there or something, and you get to the end of it and you don't know what to do, and that's that's what's left.
Yep.
And it's like, it's almost, and I'm sure whenever you say help, what you mean is you opened another door, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, it's really weird because when I got
Because
admitted,
once you put that behind you, it's over.
yeah, whenever I got pink slipped to the, I'm not going to say where, but everybody's going to know. Yeah, I got pink slipped to the psych ward.
Okay.
So, I was a little unstable, and plus I had an alcohol problem. But I just remember being in there.
That'll make you unstable.
Yeah, it does. I just remember being in there, and I was just trying to play the game to get out, And I remember I was talking to my therapist, and she told me that she was going to change up my meds. I was like, okay. And she goes, and if you want to get out of here on time, don't fall. I was like, what do you mean don't fall? And she was like, don't fall. So I was like, okay. I just remember later on that evening, whenever the nurses done the med call, and they brought our meds to us and everything, and I took my meds, up there in the psych ward. They got little phones in there too where you can call your family and everything, and I called my wife.
Just sitting in a box?
Basically.
All white?
I had a gown on.
Pudge has seen too many movies.
Legit had a gown on. Legit had a gown on.
Yeah.
So, I called my wife.
What are you thinking while you're in this psych ward? Like, are you thinking like,
I'll tell you
I'm in a
this.
fucking psych ward? Or are you thinking like, are you like,
The
am
first
I
thing that
crazy?
popped in my head was whenever the nurses walked me up in there, this dude had to be a Korean vet or maybe even a World War II vet. He was old.
Yeah.
Old. Walked right up to me while I was at their little, like, station.
Yeah, nurses station check-in area there.
And he walked right up to me, and he just looked at me, and he said, young man, he said, it's easy to get in here, but it's hard to get out.
Oh, shit.
And whenever he said that to me, I was like, what the fuck?
Whoa, yeah. You're like, damn, am I going to jail here, or what is it? Yeah.
The only thing that popped in my head was,
19, whatever.
the only thing that popped in my head was, what the hell did I just get myself into?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I had an uncle that was on the invasion of Normandy. My great uncle. And man, like you see what those guys, and I'm like, God damn! Can you imagine the brain warping that could do to you? I mean,
so like you're sitting there, you're calling your wife.
Yeah, and I'm on the phone with her, and I didn't really notice at that point that the meds were already
Kicking
hitting.
in. Yeah.
And I just it started hitting me to the point where like I was slurring my words. I just couldn't stay focused.
what was it?
They put me on a high dosage of Seroquel.
Okay.
And I really can't tell you what it is now because that's
All they can tell you is that it's strong.
It was very strong.
So you're in a psych ward and they're getting you so they're giving you medications that's going to put you on your ass like wobbly?
I'm telling you right now, when I got off the phone with my wife and I stood up, I remember having to walk to my little room and I was putting my hand on the wall.
Trying to get there.
Yeah.
That messed
Did you
up.
remember that your doctor or whatever had said, "Don't fall down"?
Yes. That's on my way back to my room. That's all I could think
What
was
if you
don't
would've
fall.
fell?
Don't fall. I really don't know. They probably would have held me longer.
What did this drug do? What was its purpose?
To be honest, I really couldn't tell you now. It's been so long, but I stayed on it for about 2 to 3 months.
Did it get better? Did it get easier?
No. For me, I was dead to the world.
Well, and isn't
my
that-
house could have been on fire.
Now,
and I wouldn't have woke up.
my understanding is through some reading and different things is that they want to almost get you to the flat line, bottom, and just get you sustaining. Okay, I mean,
They want to get you at zero.
right,
Yeah.
and like they really don't want you thinking about anything. I mean, listen. I guess I am.
So they're saying
a doctor.
You are a doctor.
Hey, this is
but I'm
pretty
not-
deep shit here.
but like that's
Is he right?
My understanding.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
is
true.
is that they kind of want to get to where, hey man, we're not thinking about
Nothing.
nothing bad. I mean, and then they'll ease you up from that point. Correct.
Correct.
Like then they'll
Yep,
start
that's when they'll
lowering
start
that
lowering
dose
it.
and start bringing this guy back to reality. But we're going to be working with therapy and doing all this to where he can now manage it as we go forward. I think that's the philosophy
It is. It is. Because I'll just tell you, I know.
I had a psychology class, bud.
Hey, Riddle's paid attention. What the hell are you doing talking to me? Jesus Christ! He's studied the Bible. He's had these psychology classes.
Dr. Reynolds.
Dr. Reynolds.
Went to college for a long time. just never really did anything
I
with
did
it.
too, but I didn't pay attention. I was too busy drinking, having a good
I didn't
time.
do anything with it. Oh, I was too. But I picked up some tidbits here. And I must have had some hellacious professors.
I can see you just getting in deep dives with your professors.
I wasn't afraid
You were basically
to.
having a podcast back in the
Oh,
early
yeah,
90s.
I wasn't afraid to. You know. There might have been some mental
That makes
enhancement.
sense, I guess. I mean, I guess I can see that, how they'd take you to zero with that.
Well, and I
drug.
mean,
So
that's
you're done.
31,000 feet analysis there, man. Like that is certainly nothing centered or specific to Jeremy or anybody like that. But like,
Well, it makes
I
sense.
think that is kind of like
get that, didn't even try.
because I've heard a lot of people. I'm jealous. I've heard of a lot of people say that that they more or less kind of just snowblind you, man. I mean, you're just
So basically, what you're saying is correct, you know me. I mean, so you'd say maybe my gears are wound a little tight, and they're trying to just get me back to neutral.
yeah. I mean, hey, look, dude, we're shutting it down. You know what you're going to think about? Nothing, dude.
That'd be miserable.
You're
for
going to
me.
think about eating. Well, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't even know what's happening.
I mean, you probably don't even remember what the hell was going on very well, do you? I mean, it was probably just kind of a blur.
It was all a blur, and a lot of it still is a blur. But
More or
I'll
less
tell you-
anesthesia, dude.
Yeah. The one thing I can tell
I
you
learned
is
something today. Thank you.
whenever I got out of there, because, well, my wife had came up like the next day or it was a couple days later. Yeah. And she came up, and, they gave her a pass to come see me. And the first question out of her mouth was, what meds do they have you on? Because she knew that.
Yeah.
So you're losing. I mean, at that point in time, you're losing all tense. You're losing facial expressions. If you're not thinking about anything, you have zero reaction. You have zero muscle. Like, right?
You're probably
I mean,
just zoned out.
You're just. I mean, I'm just saying everything's just going to be flat. You're just
Whenever you're taking the meds, you're going from here
to there.
to here.
Yeah.
So whenever my
It
wife
probably
came,
scared the hell out of her, didn't it?
It did, but it also scared the hell out of me because between the night, like, I haven't told this story a lot. I only tell this to very few people, but I will put this on.
You're telling
blast.
10,000 people right now, dude.
Yeah, man, it's fine. Everybody will get a laugh out of this because this is, once everything was done, I actually still kind of get a kick out of it every now and then. But, I ended up waking up in the middle of the night, and I was still confused, still like a blur. I remember I had to use the bathroom like really bad, and I got out of my bed, and I went to what I thought was the bathroom because what I could see in my own eyes, I thought, there's the sink, there's the toilet, there's my shower. No, man, I was urinating in the hallway.
Oh, wow.
That's how stout these meds are. Like, I literally thought I was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was in a hallway.
Yeah.
And whenever I had told my wife.
So that your brain is so shut down then basically that you're almost hallucinating.
So when do you, at what point then do they start lifting the fog? And how long were you there, man?
I was there for about 5 days.
And did
got
it
out.
work? I mean, did it get you
Not
settled
for
down?
me.
No.
Not
Okay.
for me. I ended up playing the game to get out.
Just to get out. Whatever
Just to
you
get
could do
out.
to get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played the game to get out. And I thought then I was going to be able to help myself.
I'll fix this myself.
Yeah. And,
That's probably a good thing.
It was for a little bit, but then I started going downhill
And you
again.
you can't fix it yourself.
Drinking
huh?
or-
Yeah.
Yeah. I was starting to drink again. And, my wife and I, we got pregnant with our daughter. And I just remembered that,
This is a fertile bunch.
Yeah.
We're about half related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. His stepchildren would be my second
Cousins, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we live in Jackson.
Yeah.
We're all 2-3 folks removed.
And I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
kids
yeah.
everywhere. That whole bunch is just kids everywhere.
Yeah.
I just remember when my wife told me, you will never see your daughter and we will never stay together if you do not fix yourself.
Yeah.
And for some reason, for me, man, that was
hit you.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because I think that was what put me into a past of my life, you know, because my dad was not around at all. He gave up on us whenever I was 2. So, you know, and had no contact whatsoever then. I think that was, you know.
You seen him since?
I've seen him one time since, and I wish it had never happened, to be honest. Yeah. And, you know, that's one thing.
That sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
It does, but it doesn't, you know, because I looked at it then, you know, because whenever I picked him up from the airport and we were coming back, you know, he was like, let me just give you my side of the story. I was like, I don't need to hear your side of the story. I said, because the last I checked, Mom never left.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, right.
She never
left. I know what side of the story is. Yeah.
I said, you gave up, she stayed.
Yeah.
Said, so I don't need to hear your side. I said, because you could have contacted anything. So I was like,
and
we
you
would
have
have
been
build
willing
off this.
You know, I've had the misfortune, I guess, of knowing some guys in that situation, and you know, some guys, they try, and their kids don't respond. You know, now, you know, these kids now, you know, they're pretty headstrong. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I've had some other guys that, you know, they just, you know, I don't know how you could walk away.
But if there's whenever we were rough, when we had a rough spot in our marriage, and whenever the word divorce popped up in my head, like it made me sick. Like, because I would see that
didn't mean you weren't going to be a dad, though.
No, but I would, you know, I love my wife to death, but the other part, you know, not seeing the kids as what I'm used to seeing, you know, and it crushed me. Crushed me completely.
So what did you? So you didn't backed off your drinking? I mean,
so like, what'd you do? Did you go get some help?
Turkey.
You just cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
So you did you you just fixed yourself?
I fixed myself, and then about 3 years after that, I completely weaned myself from all medication.
Okay.
Everything.
Then when did you start working then?
Well, I started working. I went to the gas and oil fields in 2013. And, you know, there was a lot of temptation there, you know, because everybody drinks.
That's what they do, boy.
Yeah.
I got some cowboy buddies like that.
And at that point, you weren't drinking, you weren't doing anything.
Nope. And I got to the point, you know, I would drink.
That'd be a tough place to live.
It was.
That'd be a tough. Yeah, I can't imagine going to a horse show not drinking whiskey. I mean, that's just what they do.
So I would, you know, every night, you know, I'd walk out, I'd have a beer. You know, that was where I learned self-control.
I was going to say, so obviously now you can sit and have a couple of beers and not go crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so and that probably just took some time, huh? I mean,
man, my switch keeps changing. Like, I'll have a switch where I'm fine, and I'll have a switch where I'm not.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I mean, it's either on or off. Like I tell you what it is. It's mainly whiskey.
Yeah.
If I have any whiskeys at all, then it's a different ballgame for me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
See, I knock on wood. Like I don't really have that problem.
You don't.
I'm lucky.
No, you don't.
Mean,
you're pretty well. You're very good with all of it.
Well, yeah, but I guess what that comes down to is nobody's good with a lot of it.
Yes.
I mean, you know, hey, listen, dude, I'll have bad nights. I mean, you know, but my bad night is not necessarily, you know, cussing everybody out or acting crazy. It's like I fall asleep at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
I wish that was what
and my mom or my wife will look at me like, hey, dude, nice presents last night. Yeah. I actually, I mean, I'll share a story. Friday night.
You text me. I need.
Oh,
your help.
I know. And dude, how often would I ever be like?
He texted me. He said, "Hey, bad drunk.
Yeah, can't do it.
He said, I'm drunk off my ass. I can't help you."
Hey, dude, I went.
He did.
I was okay. So I was intrigued. You know, I told you about Nick Teen telling me about this bottled in bond bourbon, right?
Yeah.
Well, Jim Beam has always been one of my favorites. Just an old staple. I mean,
Yeah,
it ain't
like
fancy.
it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I walk in Handy Mart and they got Jim Beam bonded.
Oh.
Bottled in bond, Jim Beam, so it's 100 proof.
You had to buy it.
Of course. Not only did I have to buy it, I had to try it.
Yeah.
So.
Right then. Right. You
well,
took a whole...
hey, 5 o'clock. I mean, it was right on the dime, 5:15. I pretty much foregoed any kind of meal.
And just commenced to drinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, but nothing crazy. I turned on a little John Prine and had a glass. And I was like, damn, that tasted good. I believe I'll have another one. And dude, I probably had like 3 glasses of that stuff. Which, I mean, I'll sit here and drink 3 glasses of this tonight. I had 3 glasses of that. And I'm here to tell you something. I poured a 4th. But I don't think I finished it.
He did. I texted him on the way home from Chillicothe.
And that was early.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I said, hey,
I
bring
sound
that
asleep.
strong back of yours over to the
Sound
studio.
asleep.
I said, I need help unload this material. And he said, bad drunk off my ass. Can't do it, bud. Sorry.
Hey, 15 minutes later,
Out.
And so Melissa hits me Saturday morning. She's like, hey, nice presents last night, man. That was fatherly. Great work. I mean, good to have you here, just stumbling all over the place and falling asleep at 9. That was a nice effort on the weekend. Great job. And I mean, that kind of makes you feel kind of small,
It does.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, I'll own it. Like I told her, I was like, yeah. I said that stuff's. I said that's the devil's water there. I said, I'm gonna have to watch myself on that the next time.
Man, I may have to swear it off.
Yeah. Well, no, I love it.
I love it.
I do.
I love them. I would rather drink bourbon as beer.
And that
than
rarely. I mean, that rarely happens to me, man.
Yeah.
But like, well, and then I think I might have had an IPA mixed in there somewhere too. Which I mean, that's a horrible
Satan's
combination.
juice.
Yeah, Satan's juice. Yeah. I mean, it's not a sweet nectar.
Yeah,
And,
Satan's
yeah.
Son of a bitch will sneak up on you.
Yeah. I mean, I had the devil's tongue Friday night, and good night, Irene. I mean, I was out.
You know what I did this weekend?
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh my God! See,
Friday-
you're a whole new man, dude.
Friday
You're a
night-
whole new man.
Friday night, I
Yeah.
went with me and my wife and Gibson. We went, hell, I don't even know where we went to eat. Went over to Chillicothe and went to Menards, and I wanted to get this stuff.
Yeah.
Mexican. We went and got Mexican.
Where at?
Los Mariachis or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
it's
forget
pretty
about
good.
that
It's
place
pretty-
over there.
Well, it was like an hour wait at Olive Garden, and we only had like a little bit of time, and I was hungry, and I was like, well, the Mexicans, we ain't got
They're
no
ready.
wait.
Yeah, they're ready, dude. Yeah, they're ready. Yeah.
Shit, them boys
They're
is
ready.
on it.
And it'll be good, dude.
Oh, I said, man, we'll be
Yeah.
down there in 25 minutes.
Yeah, in and out
They got
there.
their shit together.
Full, won't eat for a week after we walk out there. Yeah.
So I went over there and then came back Friday night, went home, or
Yeah.
came up here, unloaded
Yeah.
that stuff. And yesterday didn't leave the house.
Now, dude, that's a different weekend for you.
That's probably happened 3 times, of which 2 of which I've been sick, probably.
I want it to happen more.
Oh, I do too. It's good
I like it.
Yeah.
I like this new pudge.
Hey.
Although I'm wondering, I don't think you're going to be able to slow down, dude.
I stepped away from the stockroom.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That,
You looked pretty relaxed when I came and got the truck the other day. You looked
Yeah.
cozy.
Did he?
Yeah.
He looked pretty
Had his
relaxed.
sweats on and just kind
yeah.
of hanging out.
hanging out, man.
I like
Yeah.
it, dude. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I'll
never-
tell you what. I'm gonna just show up out there on a Saturday with about 12 beers and see what you're into.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to act.
That's what I mean. I don't know if I've ever drank with you on a Saturday
Not
afternoon.
during daylight.
No. I'll be out next week.
That's my last weekend.
Oh, I know.
That's my
I'm
last
just teasing.
weekend. I got one banquet.
We'll make it March. We'll make it March.
Well, I think we got a guys trip.
Well, yes. God, I forgot all about that. When is that?
First weekend in March. I'm in.
My God, let's get that on the books.
It's on mine.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, so bitch.
Who all's in? Who all's in?
I don't know.
You didn't talk to me about that on Friday, did you?
No. Bo, Travis, you, Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm not done till the end of the month. And, it's in a great spot. That's a great bar.
Yeah.
It's a great bar. Man, I'm just at the point in my life that it's time for me to slow down.
Oh, absolutely.
My insurance business is doing really well, and it's time for me to be a dad, and
Smell the roses a little bit, man.
Man, I've been at it for a long time.
Well, and I'll tell you, the hours on that business, dude, are tough.
They are. That's a business. Like, if you want to be busy, you got to have events.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have events, you got to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to do events, but I don't need to be involved with everything.
Yeah,
you know, from napkins to
Yeah. You can be
burgers.
the coordinator for the
I
events.
can just do that. So. And but I'm sure that place will keep on going. I mean, it's been going well.
Fun place, man.
Fun
Yeah.
place. I don't regret anything about it. It's
Hey,
been
man,
fun.
you did a lot good there, man. Hats off. I think you did a
Thank
great
you.
job there, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Made it a lot better than what it was when you found it, and I think that it was a job well done. And
Well, it's a different.
we
time.
all enjoy going there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a different time now. You know, the whole society is just different. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
And
well, I think you know what, man, and we've talked about this since we were doing live podcast when COVID first started, when everybody was locked down. People have kind of learned a new way of life, man.
they really have.
Yeah.
People are kind of hanging
And
out at home.
It's
going to
come back to an extent, but like I'm more interested in doing like a big event, like just doing one, and just worried about that.
Yeah.
But honestly, right now I'm worried about just being a dad and selling insurance.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I mean, dude. Hey, welcome to the rest of our lives, dude. Like,
Man, I've been envious of you guys. And,
well,
and
I mean, you probably thought, man, this lazy sons of bitches. I mean,
you saw what I did
if
today.
If you're not working 80 hours a week, you're not satisfied. You know. And
well, today I was just bored, and I was like, well,
hey, bud, just go out and get your recliner.
I got one.
Oh, jeez.
Never sat in it. I've got a recliner that usually has a guitar laid on it. I've never sat in it.
Move the guitar.
Yeah.
Lay your
I
ass
played
in
one
that.
today.
Yeah.
I put one on Instagram.
I saw that. Goddamn, I enjoyed that too. By the way, yeah, I meant to say that when I first saw you. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm excited about it, and I talked with Byler, and he is too. He's like, man, I think Pudge is a new man out there,
Man,
bud.
I might be. I'm really chilled out right now. I'm really good right now.
But I'll tell you what, you've had about an 8-month run. That as a friend, I just want to tell you, hats off, bro.
Thank you.
I mean, you seem to really have your shit together.
Well, thank you.
And I don't think people tell people that enough.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I'm doing well. I'm happy. I'm good right now. That's
good.
Yeah, like if you're looking at yourself though, like you'd be like, "Hey, dude, I'll tell you what, I'm in a happy period right now."
I'm really well. I had to stop it. I had to. You're talking about mental health, and I went through. Last year, dude, I went through kind of very similar to what you're talking about. And I mean, I got suicidal and the whole bit. And I mean, I probably wasn't as far into it as you were, but I just realized maybe just a lot on me is not good.
Right.
And like I've just been living like that for a long time, and I didn't really know it, so I kind of had to stop and just be like. So I did, and COVID. During COVID, it kind of it slowed me down. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do? And it was kind of like, whoa, shit. That's who I used to be.
Yeah.
And it was like, I like that guy.
I kind of like that guy.
And I was like, who the hell's this son of a bitch?
Yeah, I kind of miss that guy.
Yeah, I was like, who's this son of a bitch been around for the last 15 years? I like that son of a bitch from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And,
and now I'm eating mushrooms again.
Yeah,
man. Like you're out there hunting, you're out in the woods.
Mushrooms and fishing and hunting and being with boys been hunting, and I was like, holy shit.
Living a good life.
Yeah, I was like, I'm serious.
life.
I was like, what the fuck have I been doing? I mean, it just, I can't tell you, it was just clear as a bell one day, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to slow this down.
Do you find yourself getting lost in the grind? That was the thing.
I thought, I always said my dad was like this.
Yeah.
I remember one day that me and my dad I had like a tie rod in. I had a stabilizer bar I was putting on my truck one day. This has been about 10, 12 years ago.
Another thing to add to the book of things that Chad Reynolds doesn't even know what it means.
It was there's a steering stabilizer on the front of them F-250s. This was another 250, not the one I have now, but there's a steering. It looks like a shock. And I hit a tree one day after a storm. I popped over a hill on Canba, and as soon as I popped over that hill, there was a big log in the road, and I ran over it. Oh, wow. And when I ran over it, it bent that cylinder. And I bought one. It was like $50, no big deal. And I thought, well, I'll just take down Dad's and I'll put it on. And I mean, it's an F-250 for Christ's sake. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't have to jack it up. I did, you know,
Yeah,
just crawl
get under it. Yeah.
And I remember I'm up underneath it, and I told Dad, I said, hey, hand me your air gun or whatever. I took it down to his house. While I'm underneath there, I see his feet moving all around, you know.
yeah.
And next thing I know, here comes a jack stand, and wham, and there's and I said, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to take this tire off, and we're going to take this center fender wheel off. I said, I about got the son of a bitch out. I said, relax.
Yeah.
I said, just chill out, bud.
You're just seeing feet moving.
Oh, and he's coming at me with jack stands and jacks. And he's going to take the inner fender wheel. I was like, shit, I'm about done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I realized then, I was like, man, you know, nothing against my dad. I love my dad.
Well, you're like, I'm his son.
And I'm his, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
hit me.
that's-
And I was like, man, he had to create all that in his head to justify that job.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, from then on, I started looking at the path of least resistance. Sure. And I was like, okay, how
Occam's
efficient
razor.
can I
Yeah,
do?
absolutely, man. I mean,
And then here lately, I've hit that point with my life, and man, my son's at a great age, man. He's 7 years old. I mean, we're having a hell of a time. He's dandy. He's a little shit, you know. And so it's just time for me to back her down. You know, like I said, that place is in a good spot. You know, this is nothing bad.
oh, hell no, man.
Yeah,
You're, hey, anytime you can leave something in better shape than when you found it, it's all
and I'll
good.
help him anytime I can in the
Oh,
future.
hell yeah,
You know,
hell
but
yeah.
it's just right now. We'll go be a dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Jeremy, how did you move past those dark days then, and start, you know, getting back in? You started working there in the oil fields, and then what?
Yeah, I was tired of being gone.
Okay.
You know, 'cause whenever I would be able to come home, you know,
Probably weeks at a time. Yeah.
weeks at a time. You know, but there was a lot of times, you know, I would try to come home every weekend, regardless
and that was
if it was
probably
for a
taxing.
day.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to come home, and
So you're on the railroad. What are you doing?
right
this
now,
is oil fields.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is oil fields. Yeah,
So where were you working at then?
I was working in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're out there and you're driving back. So that's a 5-6 hour
Yeah.
trip.
5-6 hour trip. You know, you're working generally. The schedule called for 5/12s, but generally you're working 6 to 7 days a week. You know, 15, 16 hours a day.
Well, when you're that far
know.
from home, it's like, well, what else you got to do? You
Just
might as
keep
well
me
make
here.
money.
Yeah, exactly. Just work me. That's all. That was the mindset I had then. Just work me. You know, I'm out of town for X amount of days. I have no plans. I have nothing. Just work me. You know.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do, bud.
Yep.
Let's make money.
Yeah.
So
I'd
where'd
rather-
you go to
I'd-
work in the oil fields?
Where did I work?
What year?
What year? 2013 to the end of 2014.
Okay. So then you got into the railroad.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So tell me about the railroad.
It
That's where
is-
Jesus God. The
how you
messes.
know it's
I've
good.
been up here all day.
That's how you know it's good.
Well, and the
You
reason
clean
he
it
was
up.
able to make progress is because I wasn't here.
See how he beat me?
Now by tomorrow, this place will be all fucked up again.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Did you see all that trash at the front door?
I did not.
Oh,
I wasn't
how'd
even
you
paying
miss it?
attention.
It's all mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
He can't help it.
I would find I found like 9 bottles down there, and we just picked that up.
Two or three trash bags the other day.
Yeah, and I was like, how
Oh
the hell?
God, I'm sorry.
I was like, for a guy that never, goes anywhere or does much here, I was like, he's all over the building. I'm like, there's 9 bottles.
But I'll get 4,000 steps in up here when we come up here to shoot. I mean, I'll go home. My God, I've gone off the register on my Garmin, man. I don't know what the hell I do.
This is exercise.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I do up here. But I'm all over this place, man. I must just walk back and forth, up and down the stairs. I don't know.
So then you get in the railroad. So tell me about the railroad. So what are you doing on the railroad?
I'm a foreman over
Okay.
the track department.
Okay, so where are you working out of?
I was the foreman out of Chillicothe, but I've been off for a little bit. You know, I got hurt, at work, but I've been off for a little bit. If you want to backtrack, so I first hired on the railroad in January of 2015. I hired.
How'd you hear about that, Jeremy? Were they just hiring somebody you
To be
knew,
honest,
or what?
I ended up talking to one of my buddies that had just got out of the service,
Okay.
and he was like, he
Because
was
I mean, that's
telling me that
known.
he
That's
worked.
known as like a really good job.
Yeah.
Like to get on it. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, he told me he said that he just got hired on at the railroad out in Colorado Springs, and I was like, okay, cool, cool.
I'm gonna
And
take
he
a look
was-
at that around here.
Well, I didn't at first until he was like, "How much money are you making?" I told him, that
Yeah.
this time I was working in gas and oil fields,
Yeah.
and I was like, good money.
Yeah.
And he
It
was
wasn't like you were
starving.
Yeah. Yeah. You was doing all right.
Yeah. So then I asked, he was going on to me about, what he made, benefits wise, retirement system, big time. Not,
yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but the railroad,
They got a funded
the
pension. don't they?
pension
Yeah,
is
they got a
not
pension.
only for the worker too. There's a separate part that the spouse gets.
You're for your wife. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And boy, that's
So-
that's rich, dude. That's odd. That's hard to find.
It is. They say the average retired railroad employee between him and his spouse, on average, make anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 a month just in the pension.
And that's totally funded by them.
Yes.
That's before you've put $1 into it.
Yep.
I mean, dude, that is such a fossil right now. You don't find that anywhere, dude.
No. No.
I mean,
That's I do love my job, but mainly everything gets monotonous.
Well, but if they didn't pay you, none of us would have a job.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you this. That's the biggest thing that keeps me there. Is that that's something that's hard to find. You're not going to
it's
find
rare.
it. Yeah, and so I do enjoy my job.
Do they hire very often?
No, you either
'Cause, I
waiting
mean,
for
I
somebody to
imagine-
retire, you're waiting for somebody to get fired, or you're waiting for somebody to die.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it.
yeah. So how did you come upon getting the job?
Well, that's whenever me and my buddy were talking, he was like, "Well, you need to look out there." I was like, "Well, what's out here?" And he's like, "Well, the two biggest railroads on the East Coast is CSX and Norfolk Southern." So I was like, "Okay." So I jumped on both their websites.
Yeah.
Well, CSX had an opening in Columbus, and I was like, "Okay, I will apply."
Closer than Pennsylvania.
A lot.
Yeah.
So, so I just applied, and it was within 10 hours. Whenever I applied, I was selected for an interview.
Now, do they have a veterans preferred hiring program or not?
I would say they do, but I don't. I generally don't opt into those programs.
Oh, okay.
I'm weird about that stuff. I understand that it benefits me.
I
but-
mean, and you earned it.
yeah,
dog.
yeah, but I don't.
It's not,
I don't. I've never submitted an SF50 form, which is a veteran's preference form.
Sure,
Which
sure.
gives you like a 10-point preference over top of anybody else.
Sure.
And I've never submitted one before.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, that's admirable.
yeah.
I'm not certain that I understand it.
No.
But it worked
Yeah,
out.
It did.
You
It did. I interviewed with, there was about 50 other guys there. So, and it's really weird how it is. You'll either go to like a hotel conference room. They had us all interview up at the Columbus Airport.
With a bunch of other dudes?
Yeah, there's 50. They draw about 50 people
Okay.
that come to this interview. So whenever I told my buddy that I had an interview, he said, "You need to be the first person there." He said, "Because they make you sign in."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay." So I got there, walked in. The class, the interview session didn't start till 8, and I walked inside at 6, and I went ahead and signed up.
I think you were first.
Yeah, I was first, definitely, and
It pays to be early.
it does.
Yeah.
So I walked in, I signed in, waiting there. They escorted us to the conference room. When we got there, there was a straggler, and I mean, when they say 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock.
Door closes.
Door closes. So I remember there was a guy that he was just straggler going to come in. I mean, it wasn't even 8:01, but the HR guy had already closed the door, and he popped that door open, and the HR guy looked at him and he said, "You're late." And he's like, I'm sorry, but I'm on time. He goes, "Door closed. You're late."
Yeah.
He said,
Out.
There's the door. And I was like, oh, shit.
They're not messing around. Yeah.
So, and I
It's
see
like, well, I've been
everybody
here
else.
for 2 hours, dog. Yeah.
You know, and I didn't think anything of it. I just had a button-up shirt on and a pair of jeans and some nice shoes. And I'm looking around at everybody else, and everybody else is in like a suit. And I'm like, well, I shot myself for this. Yeah. And I just remember at the end, you know, they were going through everything about safety and everything. You know, this is what they operate with. And then at the end, where I was the first person to sign in, I was the first person to get interviewed. So whenever you go to it, you know, of course, you're taking your resume, and then if you're prior military, you're taking your DD-214 and all that stuff, too. I remember whenever I handed it to the HR guy, I'll never forget his name. His name was Steve Toomey. He's a retired Marine Corps guy. So, you know, he's looking at all my stuff, and he goes to my DD-214. He said, former military. I said, yep. He goes, thank you. He said, I'm former military as well. I was like, thank you. You know, and he's like, he's looking down. He's like, I'm going to go to your wards. And he goes, and the first ward that popped up, you know, was
Purple Heart.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, and he just looked up at me. He goes, you didn't dress right, but don't tell nobody. He said, but we're only selecting 5 people, and I'm selecting you for one of them. He said, that means a lot.
Well,
he told you you didn't dress right.
Yeah, flat out told me I did not dress right.
Now, wait a minute.
Yep.
All right, now, let's just wait a minute.
Told you.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but let's just wait a minute on that. Steve Toomey. God bless you.
Yep.
All right, you made the right decision.
A lot of theories that you dress for the job that you're going for.
Yeah,
Correct.
but now listen though. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, I assume you guys do not wear suits when you're laying track.
Nope.
Or out there doing that.
Nope. No, but you definitely
Why
dress
the
to
hell
impress.
would they give a shit whether you're wearing a suit?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the whole thing went through my mind. When
You're
I was
literally
sitting
the
in
only
this chair
dude there
with
not wearing a
jeans
suit.
on.
And
Jeans and a button-up.
And you're the only guy.
Yeah,
Everybody else had a suit on.
Yes, everybody else had a suit on. I'm looking around at,
Dude, now,
looking around.
now, if you're honest, all right, now be honest. You're going to interview for the railroad, not for Western Southern Life, not for a bank. Do you show up in a suit?
Maybe.
I'll be honest.
Dude, I haven't showed up in a suit in the last 2 jobs that I've interviewed for.
I showed up. I went to AP Green in a suit.
Did you really?
That's the only job I ever interviewed for.
See, I didn't think that was a real thing anymore, dude. Really? I didn't think that was a real thing anymore. Suits for a job interview.
Well, I mean, that was in 1999.
Yeah, I mean, like the last 2 I've gotten. I mean, this spans over the last 10 years. Now, I wore a suit, but not a tie, or like or
Get it?
Did you wear a suit?
I did.
Well, so see, that's blown. Piss on them suits. All right, and Kitchen's here to tell you, you don't need a suit to get a job at the railroad, guys. If you're interviewing for the railroad, don't wear a suit. As long as you've got a Purple Heart, you don't need to wear a suit.
Honestly, I think your actions speak louder than your words.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, I think if you can walk in there and your resume just
and that was 7 years ago.
That was 2015.
Yeah. So see, I'm telling you, like now, I think it's even more so.
Shit, I haven't worn slacks in a year. I've been jeans every day.
Well, man, I mean, I'm telling you, the space I'm in. I think I told you this. Like everybody's wearing like, get you a couple pair of Lucky jeans, a button up, and a blazer.
Yeah, now.
That's about as dressed up as it gets, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that blazer look. I like it.
I kind of like it, too.
Well, see, if I would have listened to my buddy, then, yes, I would have definitely wore something more dressy.
Did he tell you to wear a suit?
Yes, he flat out told, and he works for a complete different railroad.
Okay, but he was like, show up in a suit.
Yeah, that's what he told me, and I was like, I don't own a suit.
Well,
and I'm not buying a suit.
Well, yeah, and I just, like I said, I mean, I'm not by any means like ripping on the railroad, but I'm just saying, like, dude, you guys don't wear suits in the field, right?
No, I can tell you that.
So why the hell would you show up in a suit?
There are, which the management
make more
structure.
than a lot of people that do.
Yeah, the management structure.
That's true.
The management structure there, which I had some time in management there.
Yeah,
and you are expected of a collared shirt. Every day, regardless, in a field
Yeah.
or in an office, you know.
Ties.
No. No, you know, I
Gave all mine to Goodwill today.
Pudge, Guild, everywhere, another type. Boy, would you ever thought?
I kept a few.
Would you have ever thought in 2009 that me and you would say, like, we had a conversation with Fanny the other day about when the last time we threw a tie on was? I mean, dude, every day we were buttoned up.
Every day. Yeah.
Ties, suits.
You remember? That would have been about the time you'd been injured. You'd been in the military. 2009 through 2012.
Yeah.
We were in suits every day. It was awful.
Yeah.
last time I put a suit on was in 2012, I can tell you that. And that was the last time I put a tie on too. So,
When you got married?
no, we were very formal with, my wife doesn't like to be the center of attention. So it was just kind of one of those,
It's a
We'll
formal
spend the
occasion
50
'cause
bucks.
It's a wedding. Yeah, it's a
We'll just
wedding.
spend the 50 bucks
but
and go
we're
get
going.
married.
But we're going. Yeah.
So
I like it.
It's been good. We've been together. At the end of this month, it'll be 10 years. So
we're all
we've made it work
10 year
pretty good.
All
guys.
10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, we're all.
2011.
March 11th, I'll be 10 years. You'll be shortly
June
after that.
25th.
And when will you be?
We together 10 years about the end of this month, but we're definitely a different kind. We jumped the gun on everything, but still, 10 years of marriage officially will be May 31st.
Okay.
But we've been together 10 years at the end of this month.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man, that's awesome.
Made it work.
Jumped in there quick, didn't you?
Yeah, but
I mean, that was a fast
90
courtship,
days,
dude.
boy.
That was a fast courtship.
said 90 days.
Yeah.
Kids got another great card. Got your ring. I got a fist bump. Give me a fist bump on that.
Yeah. He wants to touch you up on that.
So tell us about so you're in the railroad and I got a buddy. Shout out Mike Clare. He's my boy, man.
I know Mike.
Do you know Mike?
I know Mike.
That's a
How's it
bad.
going, Mike?
Jesus, Chad.
Jesus God, I mean, what the hell is going on?
Hey, that's one of the baddest bass players on the planet.
Oh, yeah?
That dude can do it.
Yeah?
That's probably the funnest guy I ever played music with.
Is it?
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
boy.
I know old Mike.
Mike's
You can
good.
tickle a guitar a little bit, can't you?
Not now. I haven't picked a guitar up.
You play guitar?
I used to.
He
a
used to
little
be a music. I thought he was. Now maybe I'm wrong. Do I have that all wrong?
bit. No, you do not.
When I coached guys, I like to try to get to know them.
Oh, you coach
You know?
Henry?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey, this man right here is a savage.
Okay.
Man.
Well, I figured,
D-lineman.
Jesus Christ, he's got a Purple Heart.
I mean,
You'd have been in there with Mark.
that's what I mean. I'm proud of him.
Mar Hoover
Yeah,
was.
Mar, he's older.
Yep. Yeah, he was older, but yeah, I was a sophomore whenever he was a senior. Yeah. Used to get fucking licked by him all the time.
Yeah.
Right out there on the field.
Who was your quarterback?
Josh Brown.
Josh Brown.
Josh Brown.
boy.
Who was I was thinking? What was that other boy's name?
Zane Jose.
Oh,
Zane. Yeah.
Was he older than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at 07.
He was with Mar Hoover.
He was
and,
Marine.
yeah.
Yep. He's a Marine.
Yeah, he used to play both. He could
Yeah,
do.
he got injured.
Yeah, he got injured over
Yep.
there too. So then you get in railroad and you've started rail life.
Yeah. I
Okay,
just
so-
started rail life last year, to be
Is that-
honest.
so you're,
Now, how did that come to you, man? I mean, you've always been a creative dude,
I have.
artistic, and that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
So like, what made you think, all right, man, I'm gonna start a clothing line?
Whenever I got hurt, my body pays for it every day still. I'm always in pain, but, I always try to find a way to go on every day. And I always think to myself, work smarter, not harder.
Efficient.
What can I do that's going to set me up for financial success, but can possibly point me in a different direction? And there's so many people that try to
That's a
create
good way
stuff.
of putting that. I like the way you put that.
Yeah, and there's so many people that try to create stuff like you hinted on earlier. Oil field trash. It blew up. It blew up. Blew up.
Yeah.
So
Dude sold like a million hats or something.
yeah, and
I had one.
Yeah.
I had one the first one.
You got a real life hat now.
I got a
too.
real life hat. It was very similar to this. It was very similar. This is the look in Texas.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, you got to Texas. This is like in that Western world. You're going to see
If you got a logo in the middle of the hat, you don't fit in.
pretty much. Yeah, you look like one of those kids from the mountains.
Yeah.
snowboarder or something.
Yeah. They're like, and the bill's probably flat.
Probably.
Yeah.
No.
Well, those guys, they like them flat bills too, and
Yeah.
they're big on the white mesh with the front color. Yep.
That's what
I'll tell you what, this thing's slick.
That's what. Whenever I was sitting there looking through some old stuff of what people have tried to come up with for the railroad. I really couldn't find anything, and then finally it just, popped in my head. It was rail life. Well, that hints around all aspects, because our schedule's 365, 24/7. We're on
ain't no
call.
snow days.
It don't matter if there's 3 foot of snow outside. It's sunny and 70 in between the rails on the railroad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's the joke.
Yeah.
So, whenever I thought about it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was sitting there at work while we were driving down the road. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and whenever my driver's driving down the road, I was sitting there just thinking of stuff, and I just told him, I said, rail life. And he was like, what about? I was like, logo, man. I said, for the clothes and stuff. I said, rail life and then cross spikes. And he was like, that would be awesome. Yeah. And he's like, that would be awesome. I was like, well, I'm going to try to doodle it out. So, whenever we went on lunch that day, I just sketched it out a little bit. Well, when I got in touch with this guy in Cali, I was like, here's what I've got, I don't know how to work Photoshop or Illustrator or any of that stuff. I was like, I'm not technology.
But this is what I got.
Yeah.
I got an idea. I got an idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
And dude, within hours, I had a PDF emailed right back to me, and it was that, and I was like, love it. I want it. And he was like, what do you want it on? Hats, shirts, what? I was like, hats. I'm a hat guy. I know a lot of hat people.
Yeah.
And so it was within days after that, he just sent me an email of a proof on a hat. And I was like, that's sharp. I love it. So right as soon as I executed the order with him, I filed for the trademark on it and everything.
Yeah.
Because I had posted it as a sample on, at the time it was, I had an account with LinkedIn and everything, and it drew a ton of feedback. Yeah. And it was all
my God,
positive.
think how many people work for the rails, man.
There's a lot. There is a lot, and that's, there was a guy that reached out to me, and he said, out of the 42 years that he's been on the railroad, he's seen a lot of people try to come up with a merchandise or a product to go with the railroad. He said he's never seen anything like mine, and he said by far mine stands out a lot better and looks a lot cleaner.
That's awesome.
Than anybody else.
It does. Yeah. Oh, it's solid. I remember the first time I saw it.
Yeah, first time I saw it, I was like, shit.
I
messaged
you. We talked about it. We were like, man, that's tight.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
a good look. I like it.
It's
so
true.
We've been trying to get you on here for ever.
Oh, hell.
We've been wanting to get him on here forever.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it immediately when we saw this. We're like, man, that's what we're talking about.
But you're just doing the hats in this, right?
I've got hats and shirts. The shirts are being sold out on the gangs. I don't have a whole... My biggest thing, where I'm not going to get into a whole lot of details that can go off record.
Sure.
But since I've been off, because I got hurt at work, and I'm not 100% with social media, and I'm not a website developer, anything. I understand when some people message me, they're like, where's your website? I'm like, I don't have one yet. I can try. So I tried, and I got myself stuck about the halfway process of creating a website, because I'm like, I'm not there with it. But I tried, whatever. I was like, I can take it through PayPal, and I promise you I will mail it to you. I will send you the tracking and everything. And old dude didn't trust me. I was just like, look, I've got hats already in Canada. I've got hats in 18 states so far.
Sure.
Yeah, I was like, I am 100% good. Yeah, I mean, he just wouldn't go for it. Would not go for it.
I ordered mushrooms through Instagram the other day.
Did you? Did you?
Lion's mane mushroom.
Get out of here.
I did. Well, they're legal.
Yeah.
Bleep.
Well, I did. I mean, I ordered legal ones. I ordered lion's mane.
But that's the main question I get.
The next show, I'm going to have the lion's mane coffee.
Can I have a cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supports your brain function.
Oh yeah. The main question I get is website.
Well, Tyler can help
Website.
you with that. That's
Yeah.
easy.
I'm
Hey,
sure
my
he
God,
does.
you're talking to the right men here.
Yeah. Tyler set us up taking a shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about this.
I might know a guy.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk about this offline.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'll definitely,
Yeah.
I'll definitely get with you,
I
Tyler.
might know a guy.
Yeah.
But no, man. The thing that I guess I want to ask in this is like you've looked at this like obviously you're dedicated to the railroad.
I'm
You want to
dedicated
retire.
to whatever I put my mind
Yeah,
to.
and
I
you
will be
and you
dedicated
want to
to it.
retire from the railroad because of the benefit for you and your spouse.
Yeah.
So you're looking at this as like, hey, you're a smart guy. You're like, hey, man, multiple streams of income.
Passive income all the way.
There you go.
Yep.
And so you're going to try to develop this.
Hang on a minute. You said passive. Mm-hmm. You still, don't take that word for granted. I just did for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Passive is
Passive means no energy. The exact
Correct.
definition of
Yeah.
passive means no energy.
There's only a certain level of energy that goes into it for a certain amount of time, and then if you can
You be
collect,
careful with that.
yeah,
You be careful with that because I'm telling you, if you ain't careful, you're going to end up working your ass off.
Yeah, passive can
Yeah.
turn to active. And now, all right, so it develops. You've got these beautiful hats and shirts,
Especially
and
after
a great,
Tyler gets
great
your
logo.
website.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I firmly think you've got something here. I mean, that
Yeah.
is freaking awesome. And I don't
I do
think
too.
it's just
I do
us
too.
saying that.
No,
Like,
no.
this
I told
is-
you that right from the beginning. I said,
Yeah,
hey, man. that's pretty
first
cool.
time I saw one of these online when you put one up, I was like, whoa. Man, he's got something going there. I can see this sticker in the back of trucks. Yeah, like you see Salt Life and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like,
I can
yeah.
totally see this.
That oil field trash dude went
Oh, yeah.
ballistic.
Yeah.
Well, that's the, whenever I got designed, I posted samples and stuff.
Yep.
You know, a guy that I worked in management with before, you know, I had sent it to him. I said, you know, feedback. What's your feedback?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he called me instantly. He was like, "Have you trademarked that or copyrighted that yet?" I was like,
Because if not,
I was
I'm
like,
going to.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
he was
yeah.
like, I was like, no, but I'm going to. He goes, you need to do that now. He said, I'm telling you that right now. You need to do
It's
it.
a good looking, yeah.
And so I did, and then it's funny because on LinkedIn, there was a guy that private messaged me on LinkedIn asking for my phone number and everything, wanting to talk. So gave him my phone number and everything, and he called me. You know, I didn't know it was a North Carolina number, and I answered. You know, and he was just talking about my logo,
Yeah.
and he was like, "I've got a logo designed as well." And it goes on the back of shirts. He said, I can't think of anything to go on the front. He said, but yours is amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, I would love to put your logo on the front of my shirts. I was like, okay. I was like, well, maybe we need to sit down. He goes, you know, do you have it trademarked? I was like, paperwork's already filed, homie.
Yeah.
He's like, oh. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he was
all right.
feeling around.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, okay.
But once you get that
maybe
going,
we can work something out. I said, if you want it on the front of your shirts, I want 10%. And he was like, oh man, that's too high. I said, how much do you say your shirt's for? He's like, $25. I said, so $2.50. I said, you probably only got $8 in each shirt. I said,
If
so
that, might have that.
yeah. I said, so what's another $2.50? And he was like, it's just a little too much. I said, okay, then 5%. He goes, nah. You know, I was just hoping you was going to let me put it on the front of the shirt. I said, no.
well, I mean, you know, the thing is, man, even if you don't make another hat or shirt, you might be able to sell.
The idea. Exactly. I've already looked into some
brand.
kind of
Yeah,
licensing
the
thing.
brand.
Yeah,
Not the idea of the brand.
yeah, the brand. This is a brand.
Let somebody else do their idea. You're
Yeah.
just a brand.
And I just collect mailbox money.
Well, and then, all right, so this evolves into checkmate,
Mate. Yeah.
which, I mean, just display that quickly for everybody. I mean, so,
Take your shirt off, God.
so he's got two brands now.
Yep.
And this is more of a BJJ,
More of a combat sport, but you can
Okay.
push
You've got
it
into
towards
this BJJ, this Bondu or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
Yeah, now are you
many bush
do you
locks?
practice?
I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
right now where I've been off.
But do you? I mean, is that something that you like to do?
Love it.
I know you were always a big
Love it.
wrestler.
Love
you
it.
You're in
started-
there with Joe Taylor.
Joe Taylor. Yes, Joe. Awesome. Thank you for bringing it to Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
Where's he
forward to
from?
having you on the show, Joe.
Yeah, we'll get him on here.
Absolutely.
Where's he from?
Joe's from Athens.
Okay.
Yeah, and Joe trains under.
He's a block away from Gillum Insurance. I know that.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Well, but I think he's got a studio in Athens as well.
Carlos Mendez, Joe's instructor. He has his studio up there, but this is all, if a lot of people don't know much about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, this is 100% Gracie Jiu-Jitsu that's being taught.
This
So,
is always Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
yeah, this is 100% Gracie. So, I mean,
And you
What
were
makes
you,
it
were you
100%?
practicing this? Like, were you doing
Yep.
until you got injured? How many years have you been doing it, man?
oh, not long, but
But you like it.
oh, dude, I love it.
Are you gonna get back into it when you get healthy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I dabbled with some stuff out in Colorado. I done boxing out there for a little bit. And, I wasn't too much into the MMA aspect of anything
Right.
then. But I tell you this, when Joe put it on here, when he first came to Jackson in May, he was starting to hold up just 1 day a week classes.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember going in there. It was a Friday, and it was in that garage right behind Iron City that Jamie owns.
Yeah.
So there's no AC, nothing. I remember.
Just savagery.
Yeah, and I walk in, and at that time, I was the only one in there, and Joe's like, "Come on." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Let's roll." I was like,
I don't know anything
"I don't
about
know."
this, dude.
yeah. I was like, "I don't know."
No better way to learn.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
you
so-
want to swim? Throw your ass in the water.
Absolutely. So, dude, I went with him. Of course, he's not going all out on me.
Yeah,
because he's not that guy that's gonna. He's not
Oh
gonna
yeah, he's not
dominate.
there to
looking for a
humble you.
punching
He's
down.
not there to
Yeah.
humble you.
No,
yeah.
But I mean, I worked and I worked and I worked. I felt like I lost 15 pounds in a matter of a minute, and I was just poured the
Well,
sweat.
am I wrong?
and-
Like you wrestled.
Not really.
I thought you were a
Not
high school
really.
wrestler. Okay.
No.
Sorry, I had that wrong.
Yeah. It was just one of those. It kind of just stuck with me, and it was like, man, that was therapeutic.
Yeah, does it
in a
kind
way.
of touch your that part that you really liked about being in the military? And that kind of
Yes,
stuff,
I was
and
gonna
the
get into
training
that.
And that, like it.
BJJ brings a different walk of life.
Okay.
There are so many people in there that, either have their own demons or come from a different way of life, or could be that sheltered person that's always in a corner, that's always been the outcast or whatever, becomes it. But everybody develops into a family.
You know what seems kind of cool about that, and of course I'm an outsider looking in, but like you talk, Rogan talks a lot about it. Lex Friedman, talks a lot about it. Guys like that, and it's like it seems to me that there's a very high level of sportsmanship involved with that.
There
I
is.
guess
There
maybe
is.
that's the wrong word.
No.
But like people aren't in
Dr.
there.
Reynolds.
Yeah, like people aren't in there to like fuck each other up.
No.
It's like, hey man, let's learn this together.
It's
and
a
like,
restraint
I mean,
defense
it's
game,
I
really.
mean, well, I mean, but it's
That's where this
I mean,
all came in.
it's a combat sport.
It is. It is.
But like it's like
showing
everybody-
you that you could whip their ass.
But
without
like
whipping
it's like
their ass.
everybody works together. Like if you're sparring with somebody or you're working with somebody, like it seems like it's a real like almost like a synergy or something.
There is.
Like,
If you go from the atmosphere, or I would say the energy level,
yeah.
if you go in there and you see the energy level that's going on
Yeah.
during the roll sessions,
Yeah.
everybody's only going about 30, 40, 50% maybe.
Okay. Nobody's at 90.
No. There's been times where it has, but, they get humbled quick. Because, one, that's your training partner. You're not there to injure your training partner.
right. Well,
save that
Lex
for the
Friedman was
tournaments.
talking about that on his podcast the other day. Like he was talking about like, there are guys that you learn very quickly. It's like, hey, look, dude,
Yeah.
you're in this for the wrong reason. Like,
Yeah.
look, we're not trying to like, ruin people's joints and stuff here, man. We're trying to train.
Yep.
And he's like, and you quickly learn like, okay, I'm not training with that dude.
You'd be surprised.
That dude is an asshole. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many different ways you can literally choke somebody.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how fast and how quick and how easy it is for a limb to get broke. It's
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
And that's what,
So you got to know the pressures, and you know.
The biggest statement is you tap early and you tap often. But
And there's no shame
no, absolutely not.
in
Because,
tapping.
no, because the second you're caught,
And that's what Lex was talking about. And he's like, hey man, like if I tap a guy and he keeps it on for another 5 seconds,
you might have a broken arm.
he goes, I'll never spar with that guy again because that guy's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
He goes, he's not dangerous because he's good. He's dangerous because he's dumb.
Yeah, and he's reckless. Yeah,
And you don't train jujitsu with undisciplined,
no.
unrespectful dumbasses.
No.
It's basically what he was saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And, Joe would be able to crack this egg a lot better. But it's just one of the, if you go to there, you look at the energy setting there. And then if you go to an actual tournament, it's 110%.
Well, at the tournament now, it's on. At that point, yeah.
I've seen, I've watched one of my buddies. I think at the time he was probably 320. I watched him go through the air. You would never thought that a man of his stature would go plumb through the air.
Friend of the program, Lance Phillips from Wellston, just recently won a tournament. And
I have not met Lance, but I've heard a lot about him.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yeah,
That's our boy there.
Yeah. He's
You get raw, unfiltered, hard ass. Whatever you get, Lance Phillips.
and I'll tell you, within the first 5-10 minutes you're around Lance, you realize like I want to be that guy's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a guy that'll he'll shock you with intelligence.
yeah.
And then just scare you with
Intensity.
intensity.
Yeah. He's one of those guys. He'll either whoop your ass from standing up or he'll whoop his ass from your back.
Well,
and smile the whole
well,
time.
and
probably
really,
eat bolts.
Well, like he is a guy that tells us that like he doesn't it doesn't bother him. He kind of enjoys it. Gets an adrenaline rush. I get punched in the face.
That's the same
See,
thing.
he's more MMA, but
Yes.
he just recently did a BJJ competition and did very well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one thing back in the military. It takes a certain individual to be able to do something. Well, and it also takes a certain individual to get choked out.
Oh my God, yes.
Who wants to get choked out?
Yeah.
No.
Who enjoys that?
Not this guy.
The only person that the only way that you're going to get choked out is if you're too stubborn
To tap. Yeah.
to tap.
Oh, you're right,
it,
and that's why it's like because the sport and the rules around that sport dictate that like if you tap a guy,
It's done.
that's it.
Yeah, but
unless you're like an animal or you're crazy, if a guy taps, you let him go. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep.
And that's kind of the gentleman's etiquette, like same as like playing golf. I mean, if you give a guy a gimme on the green, I mean,
You don't hold it against him at the end of it.
yeah. I mean,
Yep. So that's
there seems to be a mutual respect for guys that are willing to put themselves out there and do that.
there's a lot of respect amongst everybody in that gym. Everybody respects one another because everybody goes the same thing.
So how did you come about with the Checkmate brand?
Well, we were sitting on me, Joe, and a few others were sitting on my back porch. I was having a fire, just sitting there talking. And when we were talking about
Diet Pepsis?
some would say that,
Yeah.
but it's
It's on standpipe. I didn't get that invite. A mile away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously we're not in the inner
I
circle
didn't
here.
get
yeah.
I'm a mile away.
Well, I'll make sure you get an invite next time. But so we're sitting there, just having a fire, just thinking of stuff, and he was just talking, like he was the best speech he gave about jiu-jitsu and combat sports is like a game of chess. He said for every offensive move you make, there is a defensive
Equal
counter.
and opposite.
He said, and no matter what, for that defensive counter, there's a defensive counter for that one.
Sure.
Ultimately, yes, there can only be one that wins. Exactly. It goes back and forth until one gets caught. You have no routes. Exactly. Checkmate.
Yeah.
Done.
And so you're like, okay, I've got a new clothing line.
Yeah, that was it.
But now I've noticed am I correct in saying that you sell gis on this?
I do not. I'm affiliated with a company.
Okay.
And I if anybody wants to order through Origin, I can help get them
I
10% off.
thought I saw you. Okay.
Yeah. So
But now, what does Checkmate? Are you talking hats, shirts? What we got?
right now, I've just got some shirts and hoodies. I just got the samples in.
Okay. You're just starting with this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, when it all started, I reached out to a couple of tournament holders, and I was just like, what would be the option of me being able to set up like a vendor's booth, whatever.
Sure.
One company completely snubbed it. Just, he's like, I don't see how that relates to jiu-jitsu at all. I was like, how do you not?
I gotta love where your head is, dude. I mean, I just love it. Like he's sitting there, like, okay, I can make money on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So then the other one said, our company doesn't allow it. I said, okay, well, whatever. I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
So then I went back around to the one that snubbed me first, and messaged him again.
Now he's coming around.
And I don't, I'm not trying to sound desperate. And then he told me, he was like, well, what's your website? I was like, I don't have one.
Tyler.
And
God damn it, Jeremy, we've established a problem.
Yeah. So once I told him, I was like, I don't have a website.
Well, you're sitting at the right table. You know what? If we've established one thing tonight, Jeremy Kitchen is going to have not one website, but two. Yeah.
So and then whenever I told him I didn't have the website, he was like, he said, are these the same images as before? Yeah. It's like, yeah. And he goes, I was like, really? Yeah. Well, then after that, I ended up getting in touch with Ohio Combat League that holds boxing, MMA, everything. And they reached back out to me.
We're going to wrap it up.
Okay. They reached back out to me and said, love the logo, understand what it means, fits right in. As soon as the restrictions raised for how many people we can have in attendance,
now you're back.
We're going to be in touch. Yeah. So me being me, I was like, okay, screw you. I screenshotted that and I sent that in an email to that other guy that snubbed me. I was like, so I don't know how my stuff doesn't.
And that's how Checkmate was born.
Checkmate.
So
Checkmate. So how can they find you?
I love it. Yeah.
How can they find nothing right now? Because I haven't even really spoke about it.
In creation.
We'll have to be in touch after you get him straightened out.
Hey, let me tell you something. Railroad guy, fashionista.
Yeah, fashion.
This guy. Yeah. Love it, Jeremy. Thank you for sharing with us, dude. Really enjoyed it.
We've been about 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
Over two.
Over two. Yeah. Dang.
Didn't even get
into my pattern day trading either.
Oh my goodness! Holy crap!
We'll get you back.
The next episode.
The next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Kitchen. Hey,
Jeremy Kitchen.
Hit the subscribe button, folks, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff.
Like and subscribe.
And
put in the comments whether you want to see my skully.
Yeah. Also, hey, we want to hear some topics from people on what they want us to talk about. So comment on our stuff. Put it on
Pudge
YouTube.
and I are getting ready to have an episode, just the two of us, just talking about stuff that people want to hear us talk about.
We'll answer you some questions. Yeah. So, get a hold of us. See you.
Cheers.